Huh? What? Oh, live. Right.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That was not a Playboy magazine I was looking at.
Oh, I hope not.
Well, it was. I was looking at it for the articles. I'll get into that in a little bit. Welcome, everybody, to Talking Guitars and 80s Metal Live. Definitely live.
Hey. Yes. Yeah, we are. It is September 7th, 2021, 8:07 p.m. Eastern, 5:07 Pacific. Out here, Santa Cruz, Hollywood. Welcome, you guys.
Pacific.
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 And let's say hello to the big bosses here on Johnny Beane TV.
Oh my God, there's even more bosses than ever. Look at that.
Yeah.
Did we get more bosses? It looks like we have more bosses.
It might be switched around a little bit.
Maybe that's it. All right, let's see. Thank you to the big bosses of the show, the executive producers like Charles Green, who graciously ordered me a huge order of Colonel's delicious gourmet popping corn. I'll talk about that a little later. Stephen Franklin, Joe Christian, Michael B., Thomas Santiago, Music Therapy Laz, Bent Tom and Tom Jr., the Chad, David Ennis, James Gum, Jarhead Rock, Wayno, Michael the Captain Smith, Andy Carson, John Moronic, Jimmy Ray Hawkins, Majestic PB&J Cat, Mike Neese, R. Habs, Linny Lou, and my little geriatric sex kitten Mary, False Flag, and Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael. Hey man, that is the top tier of channel membership here on Johnny Beane TV. If you'd like to become a channel member, click the join button right below the 21 thumbs ups currently. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you.
If you haven't left a thumbs up, leave it early because the show only goes downhill from here.
Yes. Smash that thumbs, as they like to say.
Yeah, like with a hammer. Smash that thumb.
Ah!
Oh.
Smash it.
I hit my wiener.
Oh no.
Which is smaller than my thumb, so I don't know how I even hit that.
Thank you. Oh, I see some thumbs being smashed. Very good.
Everybody.
Very good, you guys. And
appreciate it.
If you'd like to help support the show, support the channel, any super chats will change the color of my lights. If you look behind me, you'll see what's called the Guitar Moire. Those lights will magically change with any donations towards the show, towards the channel. It's fun. It's interactive. And you'll only see it right here on Johnny Beane TV. So there you go. And we're also live in the Johnny Beane TV Facebook page, where if you'd like to help support over there, we have Facebook Stars, which are a digital gift that helps with the production of these shows. We might also be live in the Van Halen 1974 to 2020 Facebook group, where we're currently at, we're pushing 64,000 members.
We're going for number one. Right now, we are the number 2 largest Van Halen group on the internet. We need to be number one. We need to be number one. And how many do we need to be number one, Johnny?
All of them.
So if everyone watching this show tonight joins that Van Halen group, then Johnny's Van Halen group will be the number one. There you go.
Yes.
It's got to be everyone that watches the show.
Yeah. And don't forget to share these videos, whether on YouTube or Facebook. Share them, tweet them out on Twitter, tag me on
They
Twitter.
make great gifts.
Yeah.
Burn them to DVDs and send them to neighbors you don't like.
Yes.
It's like a flaming bag of dog shit on their porch, just ring their bell and leave a DVD of this show. They'll be like, "What's this?" And put it on. Ah!
They'll be like, "What's a DVD?
What the hell?"
I don't even have it. Seriously, my computer doesn't even have a DVD slot anymore.
Really?
No.
I mean, I'm always on my iPad. I guess my iPad doesn't either, but I mean, my laptop does. My
No.
laptop has a DVD slot. I think it does, right? Or maybe it
Probably.
doesn't.
Maybe older ones do.
No, you know what? It doesn't. Holy shit. Okay. No, it does not. All right.
No.
Well, all the more reason to leave them for your neighbors.
Yeah, there's no DVDs here. So make sure you share this video out on Facebook. Mention me on Twitter and I will retweet you at Johnny Beane.
Yeah. And why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and share all over Facebook. Your favorite Facebook groups, the music groups, talk show groups, podcasts. Oh, I totally forgot the podcast. This is a podcast. Where is it?
So it is.
There's so many of them.
We get a lot of good podcast ratings too.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Where is it? There we go.
Which podcast are we on? We are on, let's see, we're on Apple Podcasts. We are the darlings of iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, SoundCloud. What's that other one?
Google.
Is that Google? Okay,
Google
yeah,
Podcast.
Google. Yeah, or just say, hey,
those are just the top ones.
Hey, SIRI, play the Johnny Beane podcast.
Yeah, and it works. Try it. And you can actually get Alexa to play the podcast as well. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and thank you, Bozique, for that Slamming Gladys video after we talked about them last week. I really appreciate that. And speaking of thank you to Mike Neese for this wonderful Playboy you sent me from way back in 1977 with that Kiss article I was discussing, because that's why we read these magazines, for the articles. My mother's like, I don't know, I see those under your bed all the time and they're sticky like a brick. I don't know, they're all crunchy and hard. I don't know. I can't even open that without the pages all ripping apart.
Ugh.
Yeah, thank you, Mike Neese. So yeah, that's cool. And what's really funny? What's really funny about these Playboy magazines is the articles are like placed on one page, and they do like one little bit of article with like one photo. And then, it's like starting article on page 23. Oh, read about Kiss on page 23. Then they jump to continued on page 34. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah. And then continue it goes down like half the page. Then continued on page 102. Oh, 102. Then there's like another 2 paragraphs. Then continued on page 109. Okay, 109, then another 3 paragraphs. Continued on page 170. Okay. It's literally spread in like 8 parts of the book.
So that proves you're actually reading those things.
Well, yeah.
Most people don't even care.
I wanted the damn article, and it was nice of Mike Neese to send it to me. And then I started noticing the ads. Some of these ads from the 1970s. First, here's Mr. Scott from Star Trek. Senor, making good tequila is like looking for a good woman. There you go. He looks like Mr. Scott, right? Doesn't he look like James Doohan?
Yeah, that isn't.
He does, right?
That is.
I don't. Is it?
What do you think, Zims? Is it?
I don't know. Dane, is that Mr. Scott? Is that Mr. Scott, do you think?
Scotty, yeah.
It looks like him, right?
Star Trek.
Yeah, and he's
looks like
talking
Mr.
with
Scotch.
a Spanish accent. I don't know why. I don't even know if that's him, but it's like, should he be doing like something else, but it's like he's pretending to be Mexican, talking about a good tequila, and tequila's name is Two Fingers, because certainly that's what you want is 2 fingers for a woman. Just there you go. These like fingering a good woman. 2 fingers. Always think 2 fingers.
Thank you, False Flag.
Yeah. Then I saw this is another ad. This is just wonderful. Look at this creepy guy. This guy's like waiting outside of schools, and I'm looking at the caption. Who would have thought I could take pictures like these? Zoom in on this creepy guy. Look at him. Who would have thought I could take pictures like these? Well, probably NAMBLA when they sent you the membership application. Look at that.
Oh, goodness.
Jesus. Look at that creepy guy. He's outside of like playgrounds and windows, and isn't that crazy?
Well, I think he's excited because he's
excited. That's why they didn't focus down below his waist, because he is excited.
I think
he
slides
have
were
that 70s mustache.
The porn stash.
Yeah.
I think this guy just died of lung cancer, whoever he is. For me, it's low tar, not low taste. That's my smoke Winston's. Winston, yes. Full flavored cigarettes with full taste. Look at my face. Doesn't it scream full tasting cigarettes?
I got an old magazine down here.
Yeah, no, Jay, it's not a flat top. It's like a military cut that they kind of put on me. So it is buzzed on the sides, but it's full on the top, but it's not flat. The great Jay Hannon of the band Gizmachi in the audience. Let's see.
Jay.
And then, let's see. There was a couple other fun ads in here. Everything is cigarettes and liquor in here.
It was the 70s.
Yeah, and then let's see. There was one for cars. Hold it. Oh, here's the classic
Right.
Marlboro man. Here he is. Here's that guy. Marlboro country for full flavor, where we have no women, only cattle to fuck. Marlboro country.
He's gonna have steak for dinner.
Yeah, he sure is. He's gonna get it right off the hoof. Then there's this bitch. She's already sloppy, and she's raiding the fridge. And the incentive is catch your wife cheating with a camcorder, and they're insinuating she's cheating on you. No one's gonna cheat with this slob. Look at this. Look at her. Oh boy. Catch your wife cheating with the rollers in her hair. No, she's cheating on you with a piece of strawberry shortcake. Yeah, no, get fat. It doesn't matter.
It's like 11 p.m.
Yeah, don't worry about that. There's a Tab Cola in the fridge.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like Back to the Future.
Give me a Pepsi free.
And listen, the AccuTrack 6 doesn't drop records. Instead, it lowers them onto the platter. So no more plop. No more plop. This record player slowly lowers your record onto the player. Slowly. No more plop.
I had one of
Dropping
those.
that down. Well, really? The
Not back
AccuTrack
then.
6?
Well, I had something like that. There wasn't plops. It lowered it down. Or no, maybe it plopped. Jumbio.
I remember back in the day, I went to, I bought a Fisher stereo.
Oh, I remember
It
Fisher.
wasn't at the mall, but it was in a pro audio type of place. And they'd take you in the back room and they'd put on an AC/DC record or something really loud, but a cassette. And they would just crank it. And you're like, oh, yeah, I'm buying that
I think
stereo.
that's still the stereo. I think it is a Fisher stereo that I have in
Yeah.
my parents' house. I like this one. This one's it's a cologne ad, but it says he's wearing something different that makes it. He's wearing something that makes him different from any other man. My guess is it's a condom. Look at that. Right now, Linny Lou and Mary are diddling their clits with broomsticks looking at this guy.
Oh my goodness.
Look at him. Holy hell.
By the way,
Jesus.
Lenny Lou, thank you so much. I got your message. And you're welcome.
I got her message too, man. Kuda, get off the air. You suck. I got that message too. This is my favorite though. Sign of the times that we never knew. Who knew in the 70s that this guy would be talked about again? I'm looking for the real killer. There he is, O.J. Simpson for Dingo Boots. Great for running away from murder scenes. Look at this prick.
He has 3 legs.
This bastard. Yeah, he's hung like that.
Yeah, that middle one's not a shoe.
That's not a shoe. That's a condom. That does look like his cock's got its own boot, doesn't it? Look at that.
He's got 3 legs.
Yeah, OJ's ding dong is in his dingo. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
It's like Long John Silver. Long Dong Silver.
I still believe OJ was innocent.
Yeah? You and OJ both. That's great. Let's see. And the great thing was cars also. There was a great ad for a car in here. I'll show you. Then we'll move on. But
I remember reading old Rolling Stone magazines, and it was the same thing. It was cigarettes.
Every other ad is, look at this. Paul
Every
Mall,
ad, it was the same.
White Horse Liquor. It's cigarettes, liquor, cigarettes, liquor, cigarettes, liquor,
Car.
cigarettes, liquor, car. Yeah, but the thing about the cars is this is a magazine from 1977. So you have things like the Lancia Coupe. Look at this shit box. Oh
my
boy.
gosh.
Mitsubishi.
Yeah.
The first brandy of Spain will make love to your taste buds. Every woman wants a man who drinks that brandy. Yeah, she's ready to go. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. And look, he's got a guitar.
Yeah. It is talking guitars in 80s
There you
metal.
go.
There you go.
There it is. Zims, do you sell those kinds of guitars in there?
I do.
John?
That guitar is get the girl drunk guitar.
Oh, no.
It makes you sound better. Guys have been doing that guitar players have been doing that for years. Get the girl drunk.
A couple of shots make you sound terrific.
Before you start playing, get the girl drunk.
I didn't say that.
I didn't say that either. Let's see. The Porsche 924 with a real 4-cylinder engine. Jesus Christ. This is terrible. This is when you had like gas crisis and everything. It was like the new Porsche gets 40 miles to the gallon and goes 70 miles an hour top speed. Okay, that's great. Now, thankfully, you have, the Dodge Hellcat with like 700 horsepower that gets 6 miles to the gallon. I'd rather go that route.
Fernando Riley, thank you so much. Yes, Wolfgang is #1. That's right.
What is that?
Wolfgang. He has a #1 song out there.
Which one?
John Biel.
Is that what it's called?
I think
or is that who it's dedicated to?
Don't Back Down, I think. Is
Don't Back Down was probably
the title.
Yeah.
No, I won't back down.
Yeah, well, it's not that one, but that's a great one too.
#1 on what chart? Is it like the pop music chart? No, it's the rock chart. The
Probably
old
rock
man
chart.
rock chart? There's so many rock charts.
This one's killing me. The new Dodge Challenger gets 40 miles to the gallon. Remember when the Dodge Challenger had like a big Mopar engine and it was like ripping up the fucking streets? And now this is what it became in 1977. Just this 4-banger shitbox that gets 40 miles to the gallon and goes, you step on the gas and your mind goes forward, but the car is still back there.
What was the
story.
man's name that brought Chrysler like out of the
Lee Iacocca.
Lee Iacocca.
Lee Iacocca.
That's his design.
Yeah,
right
who
there.
he did a lot of coca too.
How do you make money? Yeah.
And selling coca. So thank you, Mike Neese. There's a Kiss article in there, but it's spread across like 30 pages. So
But actually, that's the pages that are stuck together.
yeah, right. Seeing Gene Simmons stuck together.
Seeing that huge tongue.
Yeah, Blacktooth Fox, the Porsche 924. I mean, here's the thing. When it became the 944, it was balanced better, and they upped the engine a little bit into the turbo, and that was better. I like 928s. I have two of those, and I love them. And you know, that's a V8 engine. That thing I could, you know, that's a high speed engine. But it's like back when it was the 924, it was like it's like a Volkswagen. Just wasn't going anywhere.
Why are we talking cars?
Because we were just reading this Playboy magazine sent to me by Mike Neese.
And why do we care about that Playboy?
Well, her name
He
is
said reading.
Her
I know.
name is Miss December, Ashley Cox.
All
A
right,
sign of things to come.
I'm going to big time you, John. I'm in Playboy.
Are you? As am I. Big time.
Are you in Playboy?
I am. No lie. I am in
Where?
Playboy.
What page?
All right. Let's see.
Stand by. I'll get mine.
Mine's in my parents' house, so I don't think I have a copy.
I'll get it. Hang on.
But I am in Playboy. Shit. What year was that
my
damn
gosh.
article? Hold on. Now I gotta Google it.
In the chat. Who else in the chat has been in an issue?
So,
I'm listening. I'm just trying to look it
some
up.
people may or may not know that I was one of the most photographed football fans in America for years. In Oakland, I was in the black hole, and I've been on television. I'm one of those guys that just got photographed a lot. So I'm on the air, and I get a phone call when I'm in Boston, and this is the August 2005 edition of Playboy magazine, the NFL preview. And the guy goes, "Hey, you know you're in Playboy." I go, "No, I'm not." He goes, "Oh, yeah, you are." Page 84. Hang on, let me get closer to the camera.
Are you the guy on the
Down in
bottom?
Yeah, down in the bottom in the corner.
Corner.
Is that you in the bottom corner?
Now that's me holding a copy of Football for Dummies.
Oh, wow.
Because it was the season after they went to the Super Bowl and they got their asses handed to them by Tampa Bay. And Bill Callahan, who was the coach at the time, awful coach. He never even changed the playbook from the time that Gruden had the team as the coach. So Bill Callahan had just the week before called them the dumbest team in America on television. He goes, "I must be coaching the dumbest team in America." So I immediately went out and bought Football for Dummies, which, by the way, is written by Howie Long, ex-Oakland Raider or L.A. Raider. So the joke was I just showed up because I knew when they called them the dumbest team in America, the cameras would be looking for something. And I just held up Football for Dummies, and HBO's Inside the NFL was there that week. They happened to be playing the Baltimore Ravens. So they were there. And they got me, and they got a picture of that. And so this is the edition. Diora Baird,
Nice.
she was in Wedding Crashers, and a couple other things. But yeah, August 2005, page 84. The kid is in Playboy.
Look at you go, brother.
I'm also in
Thank God it
FHM.
wasn't Thank God it wasn't the centerfold, like with your slong hanging out.
Well,
Oh,
that's why they call it a fold out. But the bitch is the staple where they put the staples.
Wow.
So, fun fact, I ended up in Playboy magazine. Stupidest thing ever. And I've been to the mansion.
I've never been to the mansion. You got one up on me. I've heard about it. I've never been there.
Couple of things. A, the grotto smells like bleach.
I heard the whole place was like, but before it got taken over, I heard it was like run down as fuck.
It was really.
The carpet was threadbare and stained and like all dirty.
The
like
grotto
an old
was
man's house, like an old man's house.
It was look, it was built in the 50s. I mean, it was probably built in the 30s, but when they put the grotto in, it was like the 50s or the 60s, and everything. It looks like a bad backyard in Albuquerque with all the plastic rocks everywhere and waterfalls and shit. The grotto is encased, so when you walk in, it's really, really humid and it smells like a laundromat. It smells like bleach, like disgusting. Like everything has been completely blanched with bleach. They're just trying to kill whatever the hell bacteria is living in that building
and stuff.
Is this your sock? No, it's an old condom.
It's really, really disgusting. And then and there's like a little like the lazy river at Knott's Berry Farm. It's kind of like that flows into the grotto and then around, and it's a pool essentially. And there's usually 2 or 3 naked chicks swimming in the pool. And there was. I was there for an Everlast pay-per-view. Everlast was playing the Playboy Mansion. So I get there and we do the tour and we walk around and we go around in the back. And I mean, it's massive. It's up in the hills in Hollywood. You have to take a shuttle bus to get up there. You get to park down at, I think, UCLA or USC. I forget which parking lot. I think UCLA. And they take you up on like one of those little Booze Cruise shuttle buses. And they drop you in the driveway, and basically you go into the part of the estate that you're allowed to be on. You don't get to go in the house. You get to go into where the pool table is and all that shit. There's a public area. It's like Graceland. There's a public area and a private area. So you go through the landscape and everything like that. And then he's got rhesus monkeys. He's got a fucking petting zoo in the back. There's this big cage full of shitload of monkeys, and they all have heat lamps and stuff. They're living large.
They're probably getting spanked every day over there.
Most important thing I learned is you don't tip at the Playboy Mansion.
And you don't fuck the monkeys.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying.
It's important. It's really important.
Unless it's good for their career. Because it is LA after all. And so I go there and I order drinks. And the drinks are comped, because you're at the Playboy Mansion. The drinks are comped. So I try to tip the bartender, like, I don't know, $20 or something like that, just the beginning of the night to try and, hey man, I appreciate it. I know the drinks are comped. I want to, say thank you for taking care of us. Trust me, you got 200 radio guys in here. This is going to be a fucking pain in the ass for you. And he looks at me and he goes, and I went, what do you mean? He goes,
everyone else is tipping at least 50.
No. He just looks at me. He goes, you don't tip at the Playboy Mansion. I go, what? He goes, you are a guest of Mr. Hefner. It's all taken care of. And I went, fucking awesome.
Sir, you don't masturbate at the Playboy Mansion. You're a guest of Mr. Hefner. Choose a woman to jack you off.
I got so drunk I couldn't find my hotel room when I got back there. I stayed at
hey, listen, you should have taken advantage of that statement. I'm a guest of Mr. Hefner. Great, where's my room? Am I a guest or not?
What's the name of the hotel? Is it the Hotel Roosevelt? The old
Roosevelt,
one.
I could see it, but from my window. The Roosevelt.
It's the white one that like looks like it's old Art Deco with the big rooftop.
That's the Hotel California album cover one.
The Roosevelt has a roof like that, but it's not white. But then you have the standard on the Sunset Strip.
Which one has the sky bar attached to it?
Skybar, I think, is the standard, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't remember where my room was, much less which hotel. I think it was the Roosevelt.
I think.
It was
Roosevelt,
an old one.
Roosevelt has a party section in the back with pool and stuff like that, but that's not Skybar. Skybar, I think, is the standard. Let me look that up.
The Roosevelt in the back has the pool and then the upstairs VIP area, right?
Yeah, that's the one that you were at with his name?
Yeah, with David Spade.
Right.
So Paul, when you
Mondrian, it's at the Mondrian.
You see a Playboy model standing right in front of you. What comes out of your mouth? What do you say to the beautiful Playboy model?
You just smile. You say hello. You don't. Trust me.
Push in your stool.
I already made the mistake of accidentally calling Tony Basil. What's her name?
Joan Jett?
No.
John Biel.
What's it?
John Biel.
Elvira.
Hey, John Biel.
Cassandra Peterson.
No, I'm Tony Basil.
Cassandra Peterson at the Van Halen Van Halen showcase at Henson Studios. standing behind Tony Basil the whole night. She's this big. I mean, she's tiny. It's a tiny little thing, super hot still, and she had red hair, and the huge eyes that she has, and Cassandra Peterson has. So I basically tapped her on the shoulder about 3/4 of the way through the show when Dave was fucking mumbling about nothing, and I go, "Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you. Are you Cassandra Peterson?" And she's got this little hat on. She turns, she goes, "No, I'm Tony Basil." And I was like, "Oh, thanks. Sorry to bother you." And I looked at my friend Doug, and he goes,
you didn't recognize me because my hair is red. If you take me in the grotto, I'm happy to give you head.
She didn't have her. She didn't have her cheerleader outfit on.
She could still fill it though, because she was gorgeous. I mean, she's got to be 80.
You would have instantly recognized her if she would have had a cheerleader outfit on.
And so my buddy Doug turns and looks at me and goes, "Smooth." And that was the end of that.
So this is my issue. December 2004. I finally looked it up.
So we're within 8 months of each other.
Denise Richards on the cover. I wish she was on me.
Yeah.
Pre Charlie Sheen wackiness, I think. And it was an article by Glenn David Gold about comic book art collectors. And I was basically the main focus of it. And we were talking and stuff, and that was pretty much the gist of it. So it was more about my hobby and stuff. And I mentioned I'm an actor, yada yada yada, but it really focused on like my hobby of collecting comic book original artwork, and it was really cool. And Glenn David Gold, if you're not familiar with him, he wrote Carter Beats the Devil, that novel, Carter Beats the Devil, which is a pretty big best-selling novel. And his wife, Alice Sebold, wrote Lovely Bones.
Yep, that's the.
And Denise Richards, she fucked Charlie Sheen.
That's the beautiful.
Denise Richards.
Yes, that's the beautiful thing. Denise Richards was like, she was Megan Fox with a slightly more talent, but just slightly.
Slightly.
That's the funniest thing about people ask what I do for a living, and I work in radio, and John is an actor, for those people that don't know. It's easy not to know because I haven't been on any stations you listen to, and he hasn't been in any movies you've seen. But we have been this close to cool multiple times
and missed it every time.
This close. This
missed it every time.
This close to cool. It's the funniest thing. Like when it's all said and done, I bet we both have a book in us.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
The fun part is the stuff that we've seen and lived through. And by the way, there are thousands of people like us. There are thousands of people on the periphery of fame that rub elbows with famous people on a regular basis that never get anywhere close to being cool. But when the thing about it is you love the stories, and then you sit down with somebody else that has had a similar experience to you, and you share those stories, and that's it. That's as good as it gets. It's like Al Bundy. That's as good
as it gets.
It's Al Bundy. Four touchdowns, one game, Polk High.
We're throwing the sugar bowl across the living room. Over at Polk High, there we were.
Have you ever heard of
we were down 7 points. We were down 7 points at Polk High.
Yeah, it was.
Your mother was a cheerleader.
But it's you're this close. You're this close to being cool. And you think for one brief moment, here's the only time I've ever been able to pull a power trip, was when we were at a radio and records convention thing at the Beverly Hilton Hotel, which is where they hold the American Music Awards and the Golden Globes. That's the ballroom where they hold the Golden Globes stuff. Well, everybody stays there for the radio and records convention. And we're at this party, and about 2.5 hours in it. And it's like, every record producer and radio guy and record promotions guy. And, it's an industry party. And all I hear from the other side of the room was, "Hey, who the fuck let Dunkelman in?" Now, Dunkelman is Brian Dunkelman, who may have made the worst career decision in the history of the entertainment industry, who thought after one season of American Idol, "I don't want to do this anymore. I'll let Seacrest take it. This show's not going to make it." So good.
I wonder what happened to that guy.
Because we turned and looked, and there's Brian Dunkelman, and everybody's like, "Ha ha!" So imagine you're Brian Dunkelman, and you've been on American Idol for a season. You're like, he was like cousin Oliver. Like the minute he walked in,
and him I've hung out with too. So
what,
it's
cousin
like,
Oliver?
Yeah, literally my ex-girlfriend's manager of her business. You know, we're talking and stuff, and she's like, "Oh, I want you to meet my boyfriend. My boyfriend's coming to pick me up. I want you to meet him. He collects guitars and plays guitars too." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So the guy walks in, and I'm talking to him. I'm looking at him, and I'm like, he's like, you know, all shaggy and stuff. And I'm looking, I'm like, boy, this guy's a mess, but he looks familiar. And then I'm like, wait a second. And then I'm like, what else have you done? He's like, oh, I used to be on TV and stuff. I was on the Brady Bond show. I was like, your cousin Oliver. He's like, yeah, I was cousin Oliver, and I was on Big John, Little John. I was like, oh man,
poor guy. Yeah, Robbie Wrist, right? Keith Campbell.
Robbie Wrist. Yeah, it was Robbie.
Yeah, no,
Wrist.
worst. I mean, so you're at this party, and you're Brian Dunkelman, and you're being clowned by a guy whose name is Skid Roadie, and does afternoons in fucking Kansas City, and he's sitting there going, Dunkelman. He was just like drinking his drink, like, I was on American Idol.
Sure,
he was sad. He was sad, Dunkelman.
What's really fun, that's who Dane's gonna be this Halloween is Sad Dunkelman.
Props for the Gazoo t-shirt.
Yeah, I was about
Hello,
to say
Dum Dum.
This week's t-shirt is the first gay cartoon ever, The Great Gazoo.
Voiced by
Hello Dum Dums.
Voiced by the legendary Harvey Korman.
Which is great. And
yeah,
you know,
and the entire basis for Stewie Griffin.
I actually had this argument at work today. Someone says, no, Great Gazoo, he wasn't the first gay character. First gay character was Bugs Bunny. I was like, no. Bugs Bunny was not gay. He was just really comfortable with his sexuality.
And dressed.
Gazoo,
He was the first transvestite. Queen. Yeah, he was the first drag queen.
What about the Pink Panther?
Pink Panther never said a word.
He was just pink. He
never even said a word.
He wasn't flamboyant at all.
No, what was the gay lion though? There was that lion. I guess.
You're thinking of
Snaggletooth.
Snagglepuss.
Heavens to Murgatroyd.
Yeah, Snagglepuss, who was based on, I think, Paul Lynde.
Heavens to no, I don't think Paul Lynde.
No, Paul Lynde was Paul Lynde is Roger the alien on American Dad.
Exactly. Thank you, Mike Neese. You're cooler than me. What are you talking about? Please, I'm the footstool of people. I'm the footstool of the entertainment industry. I'm like the D- list.
I always tell people radio is the second lowest rung on the entertainment ladder. On the bottom is rodeo clown. And it's not because I don't respect rodeo clowns, because I do. What they do is fucking dangerous. I envy them. They're dangerous. But yeah. I'm one rung up only because I'd be rodeo clown, except I'm too fat to fit in the barrel.
Thank you, guys.
And
so, Dane sold something.
Bozique, it wasn't my ex. Yeah, I know. False alarm. Dane, Bozique, it wasn't my ex that dated Cousin Oliver. It was her employee that was dating Cousin Oliver. So I actually hung out with Robbie Wrist like a bunch of times because he was always like coming over. So, got any new guitars? Yeah. So, got any new career mishaps? You know. Any other shows you're gonna sink like a battleship, Robbie?
Yeah, He's the McLean Stevenson of child actors.
Yeah.
Name a show. Most anything McLean Stevenson is in fails.
By the way, speaking of failure, nothing better than failing with a delicious Bang energy drink. Nothing says failure like Bang energy drink in your hand. Let me tell you something. Every time I hit on girls with a Bang energy drink in my hand, ooh boy, do they refuse me. Bang energy drink for the ultimate failure, and boy, do they taste delicious. Try one today.
I know all about refusals, John.
So I've heard.
I know all about them. I can tell you. I can tell you all about them. I put the post up today. Wayne Gretzky once said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." I miss 100% of the shots, all of them, spectacularly.
You got to take them though. You got to
take them.
though.
Well, according to Letterkenny, hey, any shot is still a shot on goal.
Yes. Listen,
Yeah.
I have gotten some amazingly beautiful girlfriends because I took the shot.
Yeah.
Even though way out of my league. Like they look like Dane, but like way out of my league.
Dane is out of your league?
Yeah, listen, I'm not a
thank
pretty
God.
man. I'm not.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you can have Dane after a couple of drinks. I think he can be had.
I got to make sure to spike his drinks first. No, but seriously, all jokes aside, you got to take the shot, guys. If you're out there listening, girls too. If someone is beyond your means, you think of like way out of your league, looks wise, take the shot anyway because a lot of times it happens.
Everybody
I've surprised myself many times.
Everybody in the chat, here's your homework. Right now, Google Vanessa Ramirez, Channel 12 Phoenix.
And take a shot.
Take a look at that. I took a swing at that. Missed, but I at least took the shot, and I should get credit for taking the shot.
You absolutely get credit for taking the shot.
Because that girl is, on a scale of 1 to 10, is a 12. Just ridiculous. But nobody's out of your league. Always go after.
Always.
Aim high. Aim high.
Absolutely.
Call Tony Basil, Cassandra Peterson.
Janice Lala's in the chat. I wish I was single. I'm not married, but I wish I was single. You can be.
I used to tell women back in the day when I was in the band, they'd come up to me and they'd play with my hair because I have ringlet curls. You don't see them very often because I don't really condition my hair very well. But women would come up and they would pull my hair at shows after the show, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, your hair is so beautiful. I wish I had your hair." And my response is, "Well, you can't. Your kids can." And that never worked either.
Bozique asks, Mancuda, do you play the I'm an actor card when you're at a bar? First of all, I don't go to bars to pick up checks. Nope. I just meet girls in public. Yep. And I haven't done it in a while. I haven't felt like dating since I broke up with my ex, like almost 18 months ago now. I haven't been into the dating scene. I've been avoiding. I've been concentrating on work, and I'm still upset about that whole breakup. So but when I do go out and pick up girls, I don't really like go out like on a mission, like to a bar or club to pick up girls. I just meet girls in the supermarket. If someone's hot, I just talk to them or joke with them or flirt with them or whatever. And that doesn't mean I necessarily use the phone number, but I mean, I don't do the I'm an actor card. I don't, because out in LA, it's kind of a stigma. Unless you're like an A-list actor, then you use it. But, like at my level, at D level, oh, what do you do for a living? Nothing interesting. What do you do for a living? That's what I want to, because anyone hears you're an actor, they're like, oh, you're a waiter, huh? Have you ever gotten an audition? Because they just assume like you're not working. And if you are working, then you probably attract a gold digger, which I don't want either. So
I'll tell you a great story. I'm at the Saddle Ranch next to the Continental Hyatt House, which we all know is the Riot House from Led Zeppelin legend and Almost Famous. And the Saddle Ranch is right next door. It's basically a rib joint with a electric bowl, like a country bar type shit. Mm-hmm. And I'm there having some buffalo wings with a couple of friends. We were there for a record preview. I'm not going to drop the band's name or anything like that, but we're there for this thing.
Iron Maiden. Sorry.
No. But we're sitting at Cult. And we're sitting in the bar, and there's this guy over there surrounded by chicks, and we're like, "Oh, that guy must be famous." Wonder who that guy. Wonder who that guy. Well, he had very similar hair to you at the time.
Like a dirty Q-tip, basically.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. And I go, wonder who that guy is. Man, what a fucking loser! He's just holding court at the Saddle Ranch on a fucking.
Wait,
Wednesday night.
Was it me?
It could have been. And we're doing the whole
loser.
Thing. So we're sitting there and we're all eating our buffalo wings. And I look up, I go, holy shit, that's Gary. And it's Gary Sharon.
Oh.
So Gary and I go back to Boston. So I walk over to him. This was right after he left Van Halen or was kicked out of Van Halen, depending on who you talk to. And he was working the Tribe of Judah record. He was shopping that demo around to different labels. Anyway, he's out. He's driving a kick-ass BMW, so he must have had some money in his pocket. But he's there, and there's all these women around him. And I go, Gary, man. He goes, holy shit, it's you, man. Well, what are you doing out here? I told him what I was there for. He goes, all right, cool. Hang out for like 15 minutes. I'll meet you outside. And I got a couple places we're going to stop at. We're going to go drinking. I'm like, all right, cool. So Gary comes walking out. Now he's dressed in like a, collarless shirt and like a blazer, like a sport coat type blazer. And he walks out and he goes, you believe all those chicks there? He goes, it's fucking unbelievable. I go, why? He goes, well, and he pulls out this girl. I go, do you got any numbers? He goes, no, better. And he pulls out this girl's headshot with her resume on the back of it. And that's what she gave him. She didn't give him his number. She didn't give him a card. She gave him a goddamn headshot. For those people that don't know, it's
welcome to LA.
It's this big. It's like a one sheet with her fucking profile, the press photo that she uses for her movies. He's got it in his blazer. He pulls it, goes, look at this shit. It's her headshot, and it's this big picture of this girl, and it's all dolled up. She didn't look anything like this because I saw the girls he was with. None of them looked like that. And on the back is her name and address and resume and her fucking credentials. And that's how Gary Sharon scored at the Saddle Ranch on a Wednesday night.
That's great, man.
So dumb.
By the way, 115 in the chat,
sorry,
right?
Remy.
115 in the chat right now. Take a second, leave a thumbs up on the video because it doesn't cost anything, so why not? Just do us the favor. What the hell?
I gotta run. Lemmy's calling me out. I'll be right back.
All right. Meanwhile, I want to say hi because we're already 45 minutes into the show, and we haven't even said hi to the main audience in the chat. I want to give shout outs and say hi. Let's say hi to Can't Drive 55, Thrash Metal and Fun Riffs, Kurt 5150, Nightbot, Keith Campbell in the house, Bozique in the house, John Bulware, Mike Rogers, R2R3 Locking Nut, Lee Sofko, Vistalite 1972, Keith Campbell, Mickey Newman. Let's see. Janice La 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 La. Cameron Brown. Hey, Cameron. Music Therapy Laz in the house. Michael B in the house. Mark Dillon. How are you, brother? Craven Soda. Mike Rogers. Thomas Santiago. Let's see. My girl Sandra Picorni. 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 Me love you long time. Let's see. Johnny Beane in the house. The great Jay Hannon of the band Gizmachi. John ZD351. How are you, man?
Hey, dude. I remember you.
Let's see. So do the police. Let's see. John Bulware. Christopher Live Sawa. How are you, brother? Vistalite Lee Sofko. Craven Soda, Guitar Samurai 1. How are you, man?
Sharon
like
Wilddollar. On
Sharon,
Facebook.
how are you, Sharon? Let's
Fernando
see.
Riley.
Who?
Fernando Riley.
Fernando Riley.
David Scher.
David Scher, thank you for sharing.
Facebook.
Mike Rogers. John Bulware. I should have done this earlier. I know I'm catching up. Blacktooth Fox in the house. Dr. Pinkle in the house. Tube Supio. Hip Metal Works. Let's see. A lot of people in the house. I'm sorry I'm doing the roll call like right before the show ends. Just kidding. Lenny Lou and my geriatric sex kitten Mary. Tim Thomas in the house. Can't Try 55. Chris Bevan. And let me also give a shout out to everyone and the rest. Let me give a shout out also to everyone in Louisiana. Louisiana strong because they're going through hell right now thanks to that fucking hurricane. Kai Matthews, Rico B, Original Paramutants, Blackjack Guitar, Majestic PB and J Cat, Terry Himes, Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael.
Craven Soda, Joe Hervey, my Jew homie. Hey, listen. Lashana Tova to all my Jew homies. Happy Jewish New Year, everybody. There you go.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And everyone else. And, yeah, for all my friends suffering in New York and New Jersey, East Coast strong, kids. So I'm sorry that that it's all going through with those fucking floods, and Pennsylvania too. So shout out to all you guys out there in those 4 areas. I hope you're all right and safe and doing well. So thank you, Joe Herbie.
Yeah. Stay safe, everybody.
There you
It's
go.
been crazy, man. It's been all over my Facebook. I'm seeing all these people that are in these places.
Wish some girl was all over my face. So yeah, so I went to for those that follow me on Facebook under Jonathan Mancuda, I went to the Malibu chili cook-off this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Which I do it every year. I love the Malibu chili cook-off. You know, I'm a big foodie, and you know, the chili cook-off is a lot of fun. The chili cook-off, yeah, the chili cook-off is a lot of fun, and I go every year, and you know, they have all sorts of exotic chilies, and then it's like a fair. You know, you got, you know, all the rides and stuff and the games and like a carnival atmosphere. You know, they have a lobster truck, and it's very cool. And I wound up going like 3 out of 4 days. So I call my mother and let her know that I was going to the chili cook-off. And she's like, oh, well, that sounds fun. Did you have chili? Yeah, I had a lot of chili. What kind of chili did you have? Oh, well, did it have beans? Well, there are actually a couple of types. What kind of beans? Did they all have beans? Did you have many types? Were they black beans? Were they kidney beans? Were they brown beans? Well, were they all with meat, or were they vegetarian? Well, they actually had, but well, did you have the vegetarian? Well, I had the what type of meat? Well, they had beef and pork and bison and impossible and chicken and turkey. And oh, well, which one did you have? Well, I had them all. Oh, well, tell me about the turkey one. Well, it had artichokes. Artichokes. Oh, what type of artichokes? Well, I don't know, Ma. Well, you ate it, didn't you? Well, yeah, Ma, I ate it. But, well, was it spicy? I don't like spicy. Well, were you there? No, I just wanted to say I wouldn't eat that. So what other type did you have? Well, I had chicken chili. Oh, was the chicken spicy? Because I don't like spicy. I know that, Mom. Well, I prefer beef. They had beef, Mom. Oh, did you have pork? Yeah, well, I prefer beef. I mean, this just went on and on and on for about an hour. I couldn't even finish an answer. Every question she asked me, just as I'm starting to answer it, she moves on to the next one and the next one and the next one. And she basically wanted me to print out the recipe of every single chili and make it for her. I mean, I don't even remember where I was when she was asking me all these questions. I think I was driving, and I'm like kind of zoning out. I'm like, Ma, I don't know the answer to this. Let me answer one goddamn question at a time. Well, I mean, you don't have to be rude about it. I'm just saying, you could just, you know, I just asked what type of chili you had, and I was, holy shit. Yeah. And what's interesting is I'm online for one of the chilies, and a guy in front of me says, hey, do they take credit card here? I said, yeah, I think they do. So he looks and he sees I'm wearing a pink scarf, because, you know, I usually do. And he says, hey, that's a cool scarf. You know, what's the story with that? I said, you know, I'm into the 80s rock scene, and I do breast cancer awareness and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, I'm in the 80s rock scene too. I said, well, he said, do you play? I said, as a hobby. He's like, oh, I play professionally. I was like, oh, he's like, you like 80s music? I said, yeah. He's like, oh, I'm an 80s guitarist. I said, any band I would know. And he says, you ever hear of Kingdom Come? And I was like, yes. He's like, you ever hear of Warrant? I said, yes. And he's like, well, I'm Rick Steyer, and I was guitarist in both of those. I'm in Kingdom Come now. I was in Warrant. I was like, and we just, you know, and Rick and his wife Leslie were there, and they were like the nicest people. And we just broke into a big conversation about Kingdom Come and Warrant and the Monsters of Rock shows. And, you know, he was telling me, you know, back in the day, Kingdom Come, I said, so if you could change one thing about, you know, the 80s, what would it be? And he's like, well, I have to admit, I wish Lenny Wolf, you know, who was the singer and founder of Kingdom Come, you know, I wish he would have admitted that, you know, Led Zeppelin was a very big influence on us, because we took a lot of heat for that because he was denying it. if we would have just said, yes, we Led Zeppelin's a very big influence for us. Thank you. We're flattered that you like it. Probably would have just blown over. But instead, he's like, no, we were influenced by AC/DC and we were influenced by the Beatles. It's like, so you never were influenced by Led Zeppelin? I never even heard of Led Zeppelin. Who's Led Zeppelin? And then it just went to hell.
Yeah.
Because every reviewer and their mother just ripped them apart of, they say they don't copy Led Zeppelin, but it's like, so he said that's what I would have done. He's like, we all knew it, but he just wouldn't admit it. He didn't want to be, because we were called the Led Zeppelin copy. And, make no mistake, I like Kingdom Come. I bought their albums. I have like probably 10 out of like 13 of them. They're still playing and touring now. They did last year's Monsters of Rock cruise.
I didn't know they had that many records
and other shows. No, they have a lot of records. And it's fucked up because it's like, I said, hey, have you heard of Greta Van Fleet? And he's like, oh no, I heard them and I heard of them. He's like, they don't take half the shit we did, because they basically do the smart thing. They're like, yeah, we were very influenced by Led Zeppelin. Thank you very much. That's a nice compliment. And they move on.
Yeah.
So
there's videos of Greta playing Led Zeppelin songs.
Yeah, exactly. Kingdom Come, unfortunately, it was like, Lenny was just like, I never heard of Led Zeppelin. What are you talking about? It's like, So no, but it was nice meeting him and talking about back in the day. And for those that don't know, he replaced Joey Allen in Warrant in the 90s when Joey left the band, probably about like 94-ish, something like that, 1994, I think. So, and he was on the Ultraphobic record, I believe.
He was the original guitar player in Kingdom Come?
Yes. And he's back in the band in Kingdom Come. The original lineup for Kingdom Come is back together minus Lenny Wolf.
Is James Kotick with him?
I forget about he was the
Who's
drummer.
that?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember if he got back.
He was the drummer that
came back.
Was in Scorpions for a while, that made a bunch of really bizarre, like racist and like super conspiracy theory comments that got him thrown out of the Scorpions. Think about that.
Yeah, he's the blonde guy with the lightning bolts going down his arms. I met that guy. Not a good experience.
Yeah, too racist to be in a German band.
Yeah, what's really funny is I was waiting at a Scorpions concert, basically by the tour bus. I just wanted to say good show, my buddy was managing Queensryche at the time, and those guys I knew when I said, hey, good show to them. So I figured I'd go over and say that to the Scorpions. So you have Klaus over there, and he's very, very sweet, and you have what's his name?
Rudolph.
What is it? Rudolph Schenker. And he's very nice, and he's talking about his guitar, and very, very nice guys. And then I wanted to say, hey, good show to what's his name? Kodak?
James Kotak.
James Kotak, right? So I'm standing there by the limo that he's gonna get in, and his daughter is there looking at me and seeing he's totally ignoring me. He's like totally ignoring me. And I'm just like sitting there. I just want to say, good show. But the guy's like totally like on his phone, and he's like looking through papers, and he's throwing shit in the car
and trash.
Yeah, jerking off. He's adjusting his pants leg. He's measuring his ankles. He's he's checking the color of his hair. Should I dye it more? I'm just like, right? And I'm standing there, and finally his daughter goes, Dad, someone's obviously waiting to say hello to you. Why don't you just say hello to him? And he's like, oh, what do you want? And I was like, just want to say good show, man. Oh, okay. And it was like, okay, I got it. And what's really funny is I figured it would actually mean a lot to him, because he gave this big speech in the middle of the Scorpion show. He after a song, he got up, he got on the microphone. He said, hey, I just want you all to know out there, what an honor it is for me to be a Scorpion, because all my life I've watched these guys and now I'm one of them, and I don't take that for granted. And it's just
What is this,
mind-blowing that I'm
Rockstar?
up here with
I
them."
grew up.
No,
I
no.
grew up with the pictures of these guys on my wall, and now
Literally, no, dude, literally, he's giving that speech to a stadium full of people. And I'm thinking, I'll make this guy's day. I'll say, "Hey, man, I really," because everyone's saying hi to Rudolph and everyone's saying,
Right,
you know,
sure.
hi to Klaus. I'm walking over to the guy that nobody's saying hi to, right? He's
Sure.
just like on his own. But, you know, Rudolph has people all around him, and Klaus is signing autographs.
Right, of
So
course.
I'm thinking I'll be nice. I'll make this guy's day. Hey, good set, you know? And this guy couldn't have been a bigger dick, you know? And
Well,
it was like his
that's him.
daughter was like so embarrassed. So it's like, yeah, I was kind of happy when I heard he got the boot. So yeah, I don't know if he's in the band, you know, but we were talking. I mean, super nice guy, Rick Steyer.
Rick Steyer.
Yeah, really
Those-
nice guy. Good
Those
guitarist.
Kingdom Come records are good. They got a bum rap
They are.
because they were the Greta Van Fleet of their time.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. Yes, they sounded like Zeppelin, but the songs are good. I'm not saying Zeppelin didn't write good songs. My point is, you can sound like a band, but if your songs suck, who cares? They sounded like Zeppelin, and they played good songs. Lenny Wolf knows how to write a song. Say what you will. I mean, he was in a band called Stone Fury.
Yes, good band.
Before Kingdom Come, and he was a very talented songwriter, phenomenal singer. And Kingdom Come, look, that record went platinum quick in a hurry. It was one of the biggest records of 1988. Think about what the big records were in 1988. Kingdom Come, being the opening act on that Monsters of Rock tour, was considered a huge get for that tour, because at the time, I know this is going to sound weird when I say it, at the time, they were bigger than Metallica. They were starting, that song, Get It On, was all over
Huge
the place,
hit.
and
Huge
Metallica was just starting to break through. One
And
was
What
just
Love, What Love Can Be also was a big hit.
Yeah.
The ballad from the
Yeah.
first album.
So I mean, that was a pretty amazing moment. At the time, Kingdom Come was more mainstream and had more mainstream acceptance than Metallica. Of course, once that tour was over, you know, game over.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that was a big get for that tour.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I remember looking at that tour and seeing, and make no mistake, I'm speaking as a person who enjoys Kingdom Come, bought the albums and the whole 9 yards. I'm looking through, I'm like, oh my, all right. So you have the Scorpions, Van Halen, was it Metallica was on there, or
Yeah.
was it Metallica?
Yeah.
It was Van Halen, Scorpions,
Halen,
Metallica,
Dokken,
Dokken, Kingdom Come.
and Kingdom Come. And I'm going through the list. I'm like, I'm like, Kingdom Come. Wow. How'd they get on there? And I was
Well, the
fine
record
with
was,
it.
I think the record was produced by Bob Rock, so that didn't
Who
hurt.
basically said, yeah, okay, I'm going to get another one of my acts on there, make them bigger. It did help them for sure.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden people are like, oh, who's this band with all these heavy hitters?
Dokken had to follow Metallica.
Yeah, that was tough.
Let me tell you something, though. Dokken was great during those shows. Dokken
Not the
was
one I
real-
saw.
Oh, the one I saw they were.
It was great. 'Cause
Absolutely.
the first two bands were awesome. Then because it was pouring rain. I saw it at the Oxford Plains Speedway in Maine, in I think it was Orono, Maine, I think is the name of the city. Because Metallica didn't play. I don't think Metallica played the Foxborough show on that tour. I think there were some shows where they didn't have all five bands. And just to correct you, Keith Campbell, yes, they became massive when one became a video. One was not a thing until that video came up. And Justice for All went from being an underground phenomenal record with no bass on it to that one video changed the game. Remember, Metallica also said they would never do a video and then did a video, and look what it did for them. And by the way, again, if the one video from Metallica was Get It On from Kingdom Come and they had faded off into relative obscurity after that, we'd have a discussion, but we didn't. One was just a launching point. It certainly wasn't the zenith of that band's career, but that was the launching point. At the time, that Kingdom Come song was all over the radio around America, and it was strange that they got them as an opening act on that tour. First two bands, Kingdom Come first, then Metallica. Dokken had to come after a band that was the flavor of the month and had the biggest song, one of the biggest songs on rock radio, and the greatest heavy metal band of all time, hungry on their way up. And they hated each other. Dokken hated each other at that point. So they come in, they were sort of a palate cleanser after those first two bands, then Scorpions, then Van Halen. I mean, that was a great 5-band bill. It's tough to put
really
together
was.
a bill like that today. You wouldn't be able to. The stadium tour doesn't do that. Stadium tour isn't that good.
Well, the stadium tour's artists at this point,
Right.
You know, and we might as well get into it. Apparently, and again, this is a rumor, but it's a pretty well sourced rumor that Nikki Sixx has issued Vince Neil an ultimatum at this point, and the ultimatum is lose at least 50 pounds, or we're going to replace you with John Corabi for this tour. Now, again, is it, you know, very much confirmed? No, but sources are pretty. Have your sources heard the same thing, Paulie?
I have heard that there is trouble on that tour. I actually saw a story about it that listed that tour without Def Leppard involved in it. I had to go to the website to make sure Def Leppard was still there, but we've talked about this months ago when they postponed the tour again. At some point, Def Leppard will get tired of waiting for Motley Crue to get their shit together, and they're just going to go do their own thing. I think we're close to seeing that tour fall apart.
And Def Leppard doesn't need the other bands. I mean, look,
nope. Def Leppard's the biggest band on those tours, on that tour.
Poison's ready to go, and you know, I'm sure they'll be good. And you know, they're blessed to be on that tour. They're real happy about that.
Sure,
that's a big payday for Poison. Joan Jett, she was waiting by the phone for, like, you know, Suicide Hotline. I mean, she's real happy to be there.
But that said, Joan Jett does just fine touring on her own. She sells out everywhere she plays. It's just that she plays clubs.
But that's why I was thinking, like, you know, she's at like the Canyon Club and the Whiskey and, you know, smaller places. She's not doing stadiums, you know, not since 1982.
No,
you know,
she's not.
And even then, I don't think. But yeah, so Vince already has been, you know, panned because his vocal performances of shows he's done lately solo, he's come out bloated, he's come out breathing heavy, and he's forgotten the words again, and he's sounding horrible. So, like, you know, it's been, you know, played with back and forth. Will Vince do it? Will Vince do it? And Nikki's tried to be the cheerleader. Oh, Vince is working with a vocal coach. He's going to sound great by the time the tour. Don't worry about it. But now it's gotten to the point of, this is fucked up. This is ridiculous. Vince is fatter than fucking ever. Johnny, show the last photo I sent you of Vince. It's Vince working out, and spotlight it, please. So Vince has been working out. He's been doing mouth lifts. I don't know what that means, but let's see that photo.
Vince Meal.
Let's see what that
is that
workout
one?
photo.
Yes,
the last one I sent you.
Two jobs.
The last
Johnny.
one I sent you, Johnny. The last one I sent you.
It's almost too bad for Vince, because honestly, being in cover bands throughout my whole life, trying to find a singer that can sing Motley Crue songs is impossible.
Is that the workout photo? Is that's that's what
that's
mouth
the last
lifts
one
are.
he's not
Okay,
doing.
that's what mouth lifts are. Okay, no, he was doing mouth
Neil.
lifts. That was an exercise.
Who made this?
So there's
Pizza.
there's
that's definitely not a Cobra Kai platoon. It's not as smooth.
yeah, no, it's not a good one. So it's Cobra Kai would be really, really beautiful. But no, there is actually one of Vince actually working out. That's the second photo I sent you, Johnny. Let's see.
Vince is at
I only
such a
sent you
high
2 photos.
level that it's hard to sing that stuff.
But you know what? And normally, look, I get that. I'm not big on, you know, the whole body shaming or vocal shaming or whatever. You know, look, I feel bad for these guys. But here's where Vince loses my sympathy. Okay? Vince loses my sympathy because he's paid millions and millions of dollars for this tour alone. After pronouncing Motley Crue dead on arrival, retired, never to be seen again, won't play again, no matter what. This
I can't believe you fell for that.
Tour.
I can't believe anybody fell for that.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's just about the idea that they made everyone pay so much for those farewell tour tickets because they swore up and down, you'll never have a chance to see us again, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, here's Vince coming back with taking on the responsibility of, I'm going to be in shape. I'm going to put on a good show. I'm going to exercise vocally. I'm going to know the words and all that stuff for your hard-earned dollar on this stadium tour show, which, make no mistake, the tickets are through the fucking roof expensive, right? So he's taking on that responsibility, and this is what we get. Fat Vince forgetting the words, not even trying the vocals, just a mess. So yeah, I'm actually pissed off at Vince. I am. I don't have sympathy for him the same way I do Paul Stanley not being able to reach a vocal, because Paul Stanley is trying. He's out there trying to give the fans as much as he can for the money. You know, I really do care about all the fans and stuff. You know, and here's Vince.
I care about the money.
Yeah, nominal fee, baby. And here's Vince. And that is actually Vince working out. Vince has subscribed to some, obviously his dog is helping, to some new
spotting him.
Yeah, he's some new workout gimmick that obviously someone selling the Brooklyn Bridge came up with this. It's
6 minute abs.
M Sculpt Neo, and it's basically electromagnetic charges going into your abs.
It's cool sculpting.
Yeah, supposed to be like, 2,000 crunches in an hour or something silly. And it's just kind of ridiculous. But the fact is, Vince needs help on so many levels, and he had the whole pandemic to work out and thin up. He said he was doing it. He had the whole pandemic to get in shape so he's not panting on stage. He had the whole pandemic to learn the fucking words to the Motley Crue songs that he helped write, that he sang for the last fucking 40 years. I mean, come on. Vince is getting paid a fortune, and there's a level of responsibility that he's not stepping up to. He's just taking the paycheck and saying, fuck it. And Nikki Sixx is finally at the breaking point of not having it. John Corabi just came out with a single, sounds terrific, looks in shape. And he said, you know what, Vince, at this point, you either fucking lose weight and get your shit together, or you're going to be a big embarrassment to Motley Crue, and we're going to get Corabi. And now Vince is literally under the gun. So now he's trying to work out. And we'll see what happens, but now it's fucking do or die for Vince. There he is. Look at him. Is that Vince on the bottom in the blue shirt? Oh no, that's the ball. I'm sorry, that's the ball. Yeah. Vince posed for that, but I don't think he did any of those sit-ups.
Well, he did at least one for the pitcher.
I mean, am I crazy here saying that Vince has a responsibility to the fans? I mean, we do this show. We're not getting paid a fortune of money. We do this show, and we prepare material for it. We figure out things we want to do. Sure, a lot of it's improv, but we look through the news and gather up stories and say, hey, let's do this next week. We work on this show. We're not getting paid millions of dollars.
That he's going to try to eat that dog.
Well, that dog is licking gravy off his face, probably. Vince has a responsibility. Am I wrong, Paulie?
No, I mean, look, if you can't do your job, you can't do your job. If a quarterback can't throw a football, they shouldn't be on the team. I think
much less paid $100 million.
First things first, anybody that fell for the bullshit that Motley Crue was going to retire and never tour again, you realized that was going to be, the minute it was set up, was like, oh, we're so rebellious. We're going to violate the contract, sue us because we're so rock and roll rebels. That was bullshit from moment one. Moment two, they haven't been good live in years. It's very similar, and I hate to make the comparison because I'm very happy that Guns N' Roses are the creative part of Guns N' Roses, although the argument is that Izzy wrote all the great songs. I've seen some video from the last couple of Guns N' Roses show. I know people think Axl sounds good. I don't. I think he sounds like he's howling. I think he sounds whiny. I don't think he sounds good. I think it's great that he's there and the energy's there, but I think a lot of people it's a placebo effect. You see Slash and Duff up there and you figure, well, Axl is better than he really is. He's not. Guys that sing like Axl Rose and guys that sing like Vince Neil have a very limited shelf life, and it's because they sing improperly falsetto, and they screw their voice up, and very few of them are able to pull it off long term. Ian Gillan had to relearn how to sing. Steven Tyler had to relearn how to sing. Tom Kiefer had to relearn how to sing. Brian Johnson had to relearn how to sing. All of those guys had that same screech.
Relearn or learn properly later.
Well, I mean, what they ended up
They had to make adjustments.
They all ended up scarring their vocal cords because that's what happens when you sing improperly. Look, you can look, David Lee Roth, those guys. You can have this incredible range, this incredible screaming range, falsetto. It gives you a fake 2 octaves above what your natural singing voice will be, but you're basically scarring your vocal cords up here, and at some point that scar tissue builds up, and you can no longer hit those notes anymore because of the scar tissue. And so,
ouch.
Yeah.
Now
I had that when I got a
stars,
vasectomy. I got that.
when all these movie stars have to do a role where they have to lose weight, they have trainers, I'm guessing, right, John, that will.
Some of them do, sure.
And they're the people that talk to the agents. So it'd be cool if somebody could actually talk to Vince's trainer and say, "How's this shit going? Is he going to be able to pull this off?" It's easy for guys, honestly, to lose 40 or 50 pounds if they really work at it.
If they want to, if they want to,
they can lose that weight. He can do it.
No, look,
I hope he does.
One of the guys on the set of the film I'm working on now literally told me, he's like, I got a trainer for this role. He's like, I gained a little weight during the quarantine. I got a trainer. I've been working out. I feel like $1 million. I have more energy. I lost about 20 something pounds. He's got a trainer. And this isn't like a $100 million film. Vince's tour is a massive, massive spending money tour. This isn't hard.
So
this isn't rocket science.
The first time I met Gene Simmons from Kiss in 1988 was on the Crazy Nights tour. And they were playing this outdoor place in Swansea, New Hampshire. And the reason why I mention it is not because of Gene Simmons from Kiss, but that Paul Stanley was backstage with a trainer. He had a physical trainer, a personal trainer with him at all times. This is 1988. This is almost 40 years ago. And he's still in amazing shape because you have one job when you're a guy like that in a band. Sing well, and you don't even have to do that if you're Vince Neil, and look good. That's really what Motley Crue is about. Vince Neil was never a great singer. He was the right guy for the job. He was a front man that looked cool. He looked a little bit like Michael Monroe. He looked a little bit like David Lee Roth. And he couldn't sing like either of them. And he didn't really write the songs. Nikki Sixx wrote the songs. And so Vince was really, he fit the bill.
Yeah,
he was a good frontman. He was energetic. He looked hot to girls. He he had the fucking whitish blonde hair that was kind of crazy looking, like you said, like Michael Monroe. And he had a good energy. He had a badass attitude. He looked great. He
was the right guy for the job. He was the kind of guy that Bret Michaels is a better singer than Vince Neil.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. Steve Whiteman is a better singer than Vince Neil, but Steve Whiteman has the same problem that Vince Neil has, which is he sang in that high falsetto voice, and now he sounds like he's howling. All of those guys eventually lose their voice if they don't retrain. And Vince Neil, what else does he have to do?
Eat. He's
got money. There's nothing else.
I was looking for him at the Chili Festival the other day. I was like, is that Vince? You better.
All he has to do.
Slap that chili out of his fat little fingers. You put that fucking chili down.
All he has to do is look good and remember the words.
I think what kind of went wrong with Vince is he moved out of LA and he's living in some ranch where he's got people feeding him big plates of whatever all day long.
Whole cattle.
Yeah, and he needed to get back to LA and starve himself.
Oh, he's in Nashville.
Is he in Nashville? Oh, like
he was in Vegas.
All that Nashville hot chicken.
He was in Vegas for a long time.
All you can eat buffet, all on Vegas. He's hitting the strip. They're all like, oh no, here comes Vince. Close it. I'm sorry, sir. We're closing at 7 today. I'm Vince Neil of Motley Crue. Oh, I'm so sorry. Perhaps another night, Mr. Neil. Was it Neil? Yes, Neil. Yes. I eat here all the time. Yes, we know. I mean, yeah, no, Vince needs to get serious. Like I said, some people are like, man, come on, you're hard on Vince. Listen, man, you pay me fucking millions of dollars to fucking do one goddamn tour. I deserve to get my ass kicked until I'm fucking in shape. I deserve to have fucking ripped abs, and I need to, at minimum, know the fucking words of the songs I've been singing for 40 fucking years. Don't give me that shit.
How does he forget those words?
I don't know.
At least
but
Roth could say that, and people bought it.
I don't know, but
yeah, well, but see, here's the thing: Roth never forgot the words. That was a bit. You know, David Lee Roth has always, one of the things that David Lee Roth loves to do is to make you believe that he's high or drunk or unaware of what you're talking about to see if you'll try and fuck with him. He's completely aware. It's a complete act. There are a lot of guys that do that. Elton John used to be all fucked up, but he's not anymore. Elton John used to pretend to his record company people that he didn't know where his song was on the chart to see if they were doing their job. So he would go up to them and he would go, you know, oh, I'm great. My song, I'm Still Standing. It's at, where is it on the chart? It's at like it's at number 8, but he's like, is it like a number 11 or something? And if the record company guy didn't say it was number 8, he knew the record company guy wasn't doing a good job. But he would also say, oh, right, it's just above that song from, he knew exactly what song it was above. And he knew what songs were above it and what songs were below it. But he would play it off like, oh, I'm sorry, no, that's your job. Tell me what's going on. He absolutely knew what was going on.
He was reading Billboard magazine on the toilet that morning.
Now, those guys knew exactly what was going on. They are playing dumb to see if they can get one over on you.
Yeah, back in the day, Roth, every time they played Jamie's Crying, the second verse, when it's, I want to send her a letter, right? Roth would be like, oh, man, I forgot the words. And the whole audience would be, yeah. Because back then, the worst thing a singer could possibly do is forget the lyrics. And
this time too, it's still the worst thing.
Hey, man, I'm fucking high. We're partying. I forgot the freaking lyrics. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, at this time, people are wondering if Vince is senile or whatever. But it's like some people are like, Vince, you better go back on cocaine because you'll remember stuff better.
I know Johnny's head's going to explode. It wasn't Jamie's Crying. It was Romeo Delight. Because I know Johnny's like, it's not Jamie's Crying. I can't let that go.
Johnny was sitting there.
No, Caleb was doing that.
Gotta get a word in. It's Van Halen. Good.
I let it go. See, that's what bother me.
All the Van Halen people are like, oh my God, I can't believe he just said that. That's so wrong.
Stupid. You want to talk about forgetting?
Second verse of Jamie's Crying. She wants to send him a letter. Yeah. That's the line he would goof up.
We should have Dane step in for Vince Neil. Dane's got the cool hair and he's thin. Dane, you're in shape, right?
No.
Oh, you present as more humanoid than Vince does right now.
I'm a baritone when I sing, and I'm not good at it.
Yeah, well, Vince is an out of tone.
I think he was like a tenor, wasn't he?
I don't know. Vince isn't doing well. I mean, look, like I said, I don't care what photo he's posing for. For Nikki to come out and say, look, this is it. We're going to replace you with fucking Corabi. Pick a side. You either lose weight, learn the lyrics, and get vocal lessons, or going with Corabi. And normally I'd say, what? I don't want to see Corabi. I want to see Vince Neil. But I have to admit, it's like, what's your choice? Do I want to see, Vince not singing and just rolling around the stage, or do I want to see John Corabi putting on a good show?
Yeah, but that said, you may not have seen most of that tour, that Corabi tour. They were playing theaters that held, 4,500, 6,000 people and selling 1,500 tickets. Corabi is not going to put asses in the seats.
Is
that is
Corabi
No, I
the
agree
best
with that.
replacement? Is he the best replacement at this point?
Well, he was
Or would
the
you
only
get-
other one in the band. He's
you
the only
find
one that could
yourself
legitimately.
a young, like what Journey did. You find yourself a young dude on YouTube singing Motley Crue tunes that just kills it. And you get that dude to do it.
Well, there
In
you
a white
go.
wig.
Yeah, I don't I don't know that that's a I don't know that tour is we've talked about this before. That tour is never going to happen. That's not going to happen.
But we'll see. But
Because
it's
every month that
chipping
goes by,
apart.
every month that goes by, Mick is one step closer to the end.
Oh yeah.
It would be great if he could pull it off. I'm voting for Vince to pull this off.
Listen, let me be real clear with the audience. I want Vince to pull it off. I want to see Vince at the front of Motley Crue. I've seen them a bunch of times over the years, and Vince is my guy. With that said, it's not a matter of like Don Dokken, where the guy's health is just failing on a lot of levels, and I have sympathy for him. This is Vince basically being fucking lazy and collecting a major payday for being lazy. I'm not going to support that. I'm not.
Do you have tickets to the show in LA?
I was going to, and then they wanted $850. I was like,
Nope.
no.
You know, Hellstorm says replace him with Ralph. And now Ralph has already replaced a lead singer from an 80s band in LA Guns, and it didn't work. Ralph is best being Ralph. And oh, by the way, the guys in Steel Panther are making a pretty penny for their shows right now. They're doing just fine. They don't need the aggravation.
And there's a survey in the chat Johnny just put up. Do you want to see Vince as the singer? But it's kind of an unfair question. I want to see Vince as the singer. Do I think Vince will lose over 50 pounds, learn the words, and get a vocal coach? Honestly, I don't think he will. I hope he does. I want to see it. Yeah, and Jay, when I say $850, I don't want to sit in the nosebleed seats. I want to be on the floor. I like to sit up close. I want to be on the floor. I'm not going to a show to sit way back fucking there. You know, I might as well just listen to him at home on CD.
CD.
At least
CD. Yeah.
At least
on CD.
At least the CD will be somewhat in key.
It will. And it's thin. So no, but look, like I said, I'm not trying to body shame Vince because I don't want to body shame. It's the same thing. Like I defended Wolfgang, even though he's heavy. I don't like body shaming. In Vince's case, it's a different story. You are being paid millions of fucking dollars. Specifically, if you remember, it was in his early contract. You have to lose weight. That's part of the deal. You have to look like old school Vince Neil. Okay? You got to lose the weight. You got to know the words to your songs. And you can't fucking every other word hand the fucking audience the fucking microphone to sing for you. You've got to get up there and fucking be Vince Neil. You've got to fucking sing.
Here's the difference between Vince Neil and Wolfgang Van Halen. Wolfgang Van Halen is delivering.
Thinner. Oh.
Is delivering.
You bet he is.
He may be big, and he certainly is, and he may be unhealthy, and he certainly is, but he's bringing it every night. He sounds
Absolutely.
great.
It's
He
'cause
sounds
he's
great.
30.
He sounds great. He plays great. And so comparing apples to apples, Vince Neil is being shamed by a guy who's in worse shape than him physically, but he's also 30 years younger than him.
Yeah.
But he's nailing it every night. Vince Neil, if Vince Neil came out and was fat and nailed it, I don't know that anybody would have a problem.
I would have no problem.
What would be
with
better if he was
No
stayed
problem with
fat, but he came out and sang great, which is basically impossible to pull off because carrying 50 pounds, like a 50-pound bag of cement or something, that's just heavy.
Wolfgang
Went
does.
out there. What if he lost the weight and looked great, but he still sang like shit?
No, I want him to sing well. I will forgive him the weight because he's 60, and everybody gets bigger. We all get bigger when we get older, and so that's a natural sign of aging is putting on a couple of pounds. Your body, your testosterone changes. All of that shit changes. Your muscle tone atrophies. All that stuff changes. I will forgive that in exchange for being able to sing. I would rather have him come out and sing well, because that's what I'm paying. I'm paying to see.
Mhm.
I get that Vince Neil is 60. It's the same thing I say about with David Lee Roth. I don't want to see 60-year-old David Lee Roth humping an inflatable microphone. If he comes out and he sings the song with relative similarity to the way they were back in the day, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But if you come out and you look like shit and you sound like shit, I'm out.
And Roth is allowed to forget the words.
Because it's part of the act.
It's part of the shtick. Yeah, and keep in mind, Wolfgang, as heavy as he is right now, it's okay because he's standing in place. Vince runs around the stage.
Well, run is a strong word.
Right now, he rolls around the stage, but
Yeah.
the idea is that Vince is a different type of singer than Wolfie. If Vince's style was standing at the mic and that's his thing, okay, I don't care if he's fat. I mean, like I said, it's a breathing thing for Vince right now. He's huffing and puffing. You're not going to get through that fucking tour alive.
Joe Hervey asked if Vince needs the money. Everybody needs the money. If somebody says to you, we'll pay you 7 figures a show for 45 shows, yes, you need the money. Yes. Nobody's going to say no.
Absolutely.
Nobody's going to sit back. Yes, you have plenty of money. You have plenty of money. You've got enough money to live on, to retire 4 times over. If that were the case, if they didn't need the money, they wouldn't tour. They're not doing it for the glory. They're not doing it because the fans want them to come back. They're doing it because somebody wrote them a fat fucking check.
Exactly.
That's the music business. No band plays for free.
Right.
They're all getting paid, and they expect to be well paid, and they are being well paid. And that's the only reason why the 4 guys in Motley Crue stand on stage, the 4 guys in Van Halen stood on stage, the 2.5 guys in Kiss stand on stage, the 5 guys in Aerosmith, the 5 guys in Aerosmith. All right.
That half is really the best band we've ever been with, just so you know, better than Ace and Peter ever were. I'm just saying.
The 5 guys in Aerosmith only see each other. It's a true story. Only see each other when they're on stage.
Absolutely, that's a true
5
story.
different,
I've heard
5 different dressing rooms,
5 different
hotel
tour
rooms
buses
on 5 different floors, and they land in the city. They go 5 different directions. They don't even put the set list together. There's a guy named John Bianelli. He is their tour manager. John goes to John
Bianelli.
John Bianelli. He goes to Brad Whitford's dressing room and says, here are 25 songs. Which 15 do you want to play? And then he walks into all of the dressing rooms and he gets the 15 and he tries to come up with the most matches. And then he makes the set list, tapes it to the stage or puts it up on a monitor, depending on how they want to do it. Tapes it to the stage. It says Chicago, 15 songs. Milwaukee, 15 songs. Boston, 15 songs. Aerosmith gets on stage. Steven Tyler grabs the mic, looks down and goes, okay, we're doing this song next. Okay, we're doing this. That's the first time they see the set list as a unit. They don't talk to each other, but they're paid 7 figures per show. Now, to be fair, they only take home about 50% of that. So if you say to yourself, $500,000 split 5 ways, that's $100,000 for 75 minutes work, 3 nights a week. $300,000 a week for 25 weeks. That's pretty good money. Everybody needs the money. To get up and play the same 15 songs you've been playing for 45 years, nobody says no to that. And if they do say no to that, it's because the number isn't big enough. Why do you think Springsteen tours? He doesn't have to tour. He's done. The Eagles, they don't have to tour. U2, Metallica, those guys have fuck you money. But somebody sits in front of them and says, hey, we've got a contract for you to play 25 shows and we'll pay you $45 million. Are you up for it? Yup. We are. We certainly are. 25 shows, $45 million. James fucking Hetfield. I'm in. That's the game.
And it's true. And this is literally the situation that Motley Crue is put in.
Yes, KXM Rock. The road crew needs the money. The production crew needs the money. The lighting crew needs the money. Those guys, and I know because one of my friends is the assistant road manager to Bruce Springsteen. And when he's not road managing for Bruce Springsteen, he road manages for Pearl Jam, which is why you never see Pearl Jam and Bruce Springsteen touring at the same time. They tour off each other. If Springsteen is out on the road from May through September, Pearl Jam picks it up late September through February. That's just sort of how they do it, because they end up with the same crew, same lighting guys, same road manager, because they like how those guys handle their tours. So these guys go from tour to tour to tour, just like you saw in Almost Famous. A couple of roadies go from one tour to the next tour to the next tour, and they jump around. Those guys work their balls off 12 months out of the year. Those guys need the money. Absolutely.
Sure. No, but those
and they're the guys that work.
I guarantee if you said to one of those guys in the crew, hey, listen, man, we're going to pay you $1 million for like 2 hours tonight, but you got to lose about 20 pounds before the show. Would you do it? What? I mean, come on. This is Vince being lazy. This is totally Vince being 1,000% fuck you, I don't care, lazy. But don't say fuck you because you signed your fucking name to the contract. That's it. Get your shit together.
You know a good way to lose weight? Go get your tongue pierced.
Seriously, I think he should get his tongue. I think he should get his lips stapled. He should get his fucking lips stapled.
But then you can't sing.
Which is also an improvement on Vince.
But get your tongue pierced. Let it get infected, you know. Month later, you've lost 50 pounds. You pull that thing out.
Suck a couple of blistery dicks at the truck stop. And
by the way, Blistery Dicks is my favorite band. I saw them at the Viper Room in '94.
I love the Blistery Dicks.
Roadies, those guys work their balls off. The roadies and the light guys. There's, it starts at 4 o'clock in the morning and doesn't end till 3 o'clock the next morning. They work 12-hour days. The best part of the day for the roadie is the hour and a half that the band is on stage, because that's when only the lighting guys and the sound guy are working. The truck drivers get to sleep. The riggers get to sleep. All those guys get to rest. They're the guys that make rock and roll go, not the band. Sorry, the bands are great, but the bands don't do shit if somebody doesn't drive the truck.
They're not the big workers. You're right.
I went out on the road with a band who shall remain nameless, and I will tell you that the bus driver was the only guy in the entourage that got a hotel room every night and had 3 square meals a day. They were great to the bus driver. The bus driver has their lives in his hands every time he gets behind the wheel. And so the band might be playing for X amount of dollars per night, but the bus driver is the most well taken care of guy in the entire crew.
Well, they got to get him to shows on time and safely.
Yeah. A bus driver's amazing. That guy is because while everybody is sleeping in the back of the bus, that's the guy driving at, from 1 o'clock in the morning through 7 o'clock the next morning to the next town in the middle of the overnight with drunk drivers and icy roads and truck drivers and all the nonsense. Bus drivers are fucking the unsung heroes of the touring industry.
Mm. Mm-hmm. And by the way, if you're watching this and you agree with us, leave a thumbs up. If you disagree with us, hit the like button on the video. So either way, hit the thumbs up right now, because there's, 116 people in the chat. So might as well, because why not?
How crazy is that we were talking about those Monsters of Rock cruises and all that. And now Caleb's going out on a cruise.
I was going to bring that up too, but thank you for spoiling the surprise, Dan. Yeah, so we might as well jump to that story.
So much for planning the show.
Dane really needs to sit in on these pre-show prep meetings so he doesn't fist fuck me.
I missed that. I'm sorry I missed the meeting.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
We talked about it.
That's all
Friday
right.
and Saturday already.
That's all right, but no one watches those shows.
I watched it Saturday.
So let's give a big shout out of congratulations.
Caleb Rappaport's nuts again.
No, let's give Caleb his due, because the fact is Caleb Rappaport of Nerd Halen works his ass off. He does. He plays a great show for the fans, and he is now on the 2022 Monsters of Rock cruise, along with Alice Cooper headlining. That's a great headliner, my God.
Wow.
And Queensryche, Cinderella's Tom Kiefer, Skid Row, Lit, LA Guns, Kicks.
By the way,
Winger.
why is Lit on that bill?
Yeah, that kind of caught my eye too.
Yeah, but they're not.
It's like London will be on next,
But they're not, like, if you go through that list of bands, all of those bands are hard rock / hair bands Lit is not. Lit is like an alternative dork band. Look at all the guys that are on that list.
Well, the bass player is a friend of mine.
I've
Yeah,
seen Lit.
so
They're a good rock band.
I didn't say they weren't good. I said they're incongruous with the rest of that lineup. That entire lineup is hard rock / hair bands / commercial metal, whatever you want to call it. Nobody else on that list should be playing on the same bill with Lit. And Lit, I don't know how they got on that bill. God love them for it. I hope they're fun. But one of these bands is not like the others. And that's the one.
I didn't really like make a thing of seeing them on there, but I do agree with you. They are a little bit stylized different.
They're a 90s band. Definitely.
Yeah. So I don't know, they might as well have had Kiss's Painter on there, but look, if they put on a good show, God bless them. They're on. Let's see. LA Guns, Kicks, Winger, Michael Monroe. Haven't seen him out on the road for a while.
Is that Roxanne? Roxanne? Not Roxanne, the hip hop.
Not
song,
Roxette. Not Roxette.
Oh, Roxette. There we
That's
go.
what you're
Thank you.
thinking.
Yeah.
Great
Jesus.
White, which is Mark Kendall's version. Heat, who I'm a big fan of. Loudness, Pat Travers, YNT, Eclipse,
Pat
Vixen, Rose Tattoo, Black and Blue. So is Ace
Tommy
Frehley?
play?
Is Ace Frehley in Black
Yeah.
and Blue now?
I was going to say, is Tommy playing with Black and Blue?
Jamie St.
He
James.
probably is. He probably is, right?
All right.
Is Tommy Thayer going to be in Black and Blue's lineup for that?
That'll be interesting.
Doing
Black
double
and
duty.
Blue, produced by Gene Simmons.
Well, that would make sense. Let's see. Firewind, Chris Holmes coming out of France to make this one. God bless you. Joel Hoekstra, he's great. Lillian Axe, Faster Pussycat, Rhino Bucket, Pink Cream 69, very underrated European band.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's say, no, European or Scandinavian?
Well, Scandinavia's in Europe.
Well, yeah, I guess so. So, okay. Yeah. Dangerous Toys, Killer Dwarfs. Paulie, you better make that cruise if you want to get
I would love to get another hand job. Another hand job at Killer Dwarfs. Won't be the first time.
Take the shot, baby, and leave it on the back of the other person in front of you. Tokyo
Best
Motor
show ever.
Tokyo Motor Fist is who's gonna jerk you off. No, Tokyo Motor Fist is great. That's Ted Poley and Steve Brown.
Yep.
XYZ, great band, a personal favorite.
Now, is Terry with XYZ?
Terry is back with XYZ now.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm real glad about that. Bisto Blanco, Electric Boys, Crazy Licks, another band.
By the way,
Crazy Licks.
Electric Boys, another band that flies under the radar for a lot of people. Really good band.
Yeah, for sure. Crazy Licks, who's a band Jay Hannon turned me on to. Nerd Halen. Did I mention Nerd Halen with Caleb Rappaport, friend of the show, cast member of the show? Nerd Halen, that Nerd Halen. Did I mention that Nerd Halen? Little Caesar, Roxanne, Signal 13, The Mayor, John Corabi, soon to be of Motley Crue, apparently. Did I mention Nerd Halen? Hosted by Eddie Trunk, Don Jameson, Jim Florentine, Keith Roth, Luck Carl, John Mancuda, Neanderthal, and Johnny Beane, Nikki Black, Izzy and the Brain. It's Izzy and the Brain. Metal DJ Will and Ginger Fish. I don't know who anyone is except the first three.
Keith Roth is a name dropping studio musician that works on Hair Nation. Luke Carl, same thing. I don't know Nikki Black or Izzy and the Brain. DJ Will used to be on KNAC, and Ginger Fish was a musician as well. I forget which band.
Nikki Black was on Bay Area rock radio for years.
Okay, yeah. And Don Jameson and Jim Florentine are comedians. And then
Don and Jim
cool
I know
guys.
because they're always appearing with Eddie Trunk. They're cool. They're in the
Here's the
scene.
They run that metal show.
People have a hard time with Eddie Trunk. I actually like Eddie personally. We've spent hours on the phone together talking Kiss and other bands and stuff. Eddie is one of the greatest assets that this music form has. He tends to be whiny on occasion, and that's kind of his thing. He bitches about things that, look, he's not much different than what we're doing, except basically. He does it to a much bigger audience.
Well, his videos get about 3,000 each, and our videos get about 1,200 each. So you know,
No, he's a
But
good.
We're working our way there. Eddie's a nice guy. I mean,
He's a
Johnny
super
and
nice
I met
guy.
him at
And a big-
NAMM. We were
We saw him
talking
at
to
NAMM,
him.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a
nice.
good dude. He gets a bad rap from people. I think a lot of them are
sour grapes. Jealous.
I think a lot of people are jealous because he has access to people that you wish you could have access to.
This is
He's
a
a good
huge
dude.
opportunity for Caleb to be out on that ship with these musicians.
Absolutely, and he deserves it.
By the way, that's the other
emphasize
thing.
that.
Nobody in Nerd Halen is any less a musician than anybody else on that bill. That said, looking at that bill, I know every band on that bill, and if I didn't know Caleb and Hal, I would never have. I would say, "Who's Nerd Halen?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
So
haven't
that is
heard of
that's a great
the-
opportunity.
The one band I haven't never heard of is what was it, Creamy 69 or what
Pink
were they
Cream
called?
69.
Pink Cream 69 is old
Yeah.
school
Yeah,
80s.
they're
They're,
pretty cool.
great. They're great.
Yeah, they're all right.
But the lead singer in my band, he loves going on these cruises and he tries to do it like every year. And they have the funnest part is they have like jam nights on different stages at different times where you can just get up on stage and be like, hey, do you guys know like TNT
Yeah,
by
It's a no
an
bozos jam.
AC/DC song? And
Yeah.
you can go up there and jam with these other dudes and you network, you get to know these guys.
That's how my buddy Tyson really made his name. Was he's the tour manager and keyboard player for Vixen, and when he goes out on these tours, these boats,
Yeah.
he ends up being the musical director, the Paul Schaefer, for these jams because he
Oh,
can
yeah.
play every instrument and he knows every fucking song that's ever been written. So when they need somebody to be the musical director for this, they need somebody that can be the linchpin. So Tyson ends up being the guy, and he gets the guitar player and bass player and shit. So he's had an opportunity to jam with Billy Sheehan and jam with Nuno and jam. Go ahead, Johnny.
Well, I gotta put the Billy link in first.
Yeah, but there's all.
Caleb's gonna be able to
I
I was
jam with
waiting
all
for
these
that
dudes.
photo. I was waiting for that.
But there's
photo.
all that.
And you know, a year down the road or something, Black and Blue is gonna maybe
There
these
it
guys are gonna need a guitar player, and they'll say, "Hey, what about let's get that Nerd Halen dude?" There you go.
You never know.
Like that could happen.
You never know. I don't know that that's a. I don't know that that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think Caleb is loyal. That's his project. Nerd Halen is his
Right.
project. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So if Caleb were to go and play for another band, not that I think that that's ever even in his scope of thing that he wants to do,
Right.
but if that opportunity came up, it would be the end of Nerd Halen, and that
would
sucks
just-
because
well,
it's a cool thing.
well, sometimes bands, hey man, we got 3 weeks we have to fill at the end of the year. Will you just come on for 3 weeks and help us get through some dates and things like that happen all the time too.
And shout out to Vintage Sounds. How are you, man? Saying hi.
Hey.
Hey.
What's
Hey.
the date on that cruise?
We
What was
love
the
our
date
audience.
on that cruise?
Is February 9th through the 14th.
So get your tickets now. The .com address is at the bottom of that card right there.
Well,
Craven
thank
Soda
God they
wants.
don't book that during hurricane season, so February's good.
Craven Soda wants to know, what is the hint for today's show and tell guitar? It is a celebrity guitar, not one he's associated with, but it has a really great story with it involving getting in bed with a virgin. There is a great story behind it.
I know the story.
You
Is
do
this
know
the-
the
is
story,
this-
Chris.
This is the fell asleep story.
No.
Oh,
No.
it's not the fell asleep
Different
story.
story. Different story.
Same person?
Fell asleep story. I'm trying to remember the fell asleep story.
The fell asleep story was he fell asleep inside a virgin.
No. Different,
not-
different.
Different guy or different
Different.
story?
Both.
Oh, all right.
Both.
All right.
Yeah. But it's a good story. It's a really good story. Let's see. So that is your hint for show and tell guitar. Yeah, so it is a celebrity guitar. You wouldn't really associate it with him. It's not like a guitar that you're like, oh, that's clearly blah blah's guitar. But it's it's definitely neat, and I got the full story from him directly to make sure I got it right. So that's very cool. Johnny, of course, focuses on me when I'm doing something to help the show. So there's 3 other guys here. Johnny doesn't talk. Dane follows Paul. Paul's like, well, Johnny obviously has a spotlight on my Cuda. There must be a reason. No, it's just
Wayne.
Barf.
Send me a message somewhere.
He just did.
He did?
I'd love to go on that
What is-
cruise.
what is
I'm
that right
actually
there?
Thinking about that right now. I'm
Well, a
actually
message of
thinking
where
I
to
wanna-
send.
I'm actually thinking I want to go on that.
DM me
cruise.
somewhere.
Nobody's listening
What?
to Dane.
Right in his ass.
No, I'm just saying. I'm sitting here thinking, man, I'd really kind of love to go on that cruise. That would be.
They
awesome.
sell tickets. You should buy one.
I think it's going to be like.
Never a
Who's
shit.
gonna run the? Who would run the
You-
store?
First, I would have to fly to Florida. So whatever the cost of that is,
Right now, it's about $40.
I think it's going to be probably a $1,500 round trip for me if I don't eat.
Yes, but the point is, Dane, you can't because never a ship.
That's right. But I mean, I could.
Never a ship.
Dane, are you getting on the boat? Never a
That'd
ship.
be so fun. And my
Never
lead
a ship.
singer, again, he does it like every year, and he could probably even help arrange things like a, like my tour manager kind of guy.
Yeah, by the way, if anyone has any tickets they don't want,
Could you
just
treat- could
send
you
them
treat
our
stream?
way.
There you go.
Somebody treat stream
Jim's
Dane a ticket to
Guitars.
that crew.
1305 West Guadalupe.
If anyone could get Dean a
Mesa.
ticket, and he'll even sit behind the boat in a dinghy being towed for
Yeah.
a free ticket. So he'll swab the
Sharks
deck.
circling. Oh man.
He'll swab the deck.
If you got to
Keith,
push
I know-
somebody overboard, it can
Well,
be
what
him.
deck? Yeah.
He'll wipe up
I-
all this. He'll wipe up all the semen on the ship.
Yeah, there's shit coming out of all the bathrooms.
Never
flowing
a shit.
down the hallways.
Never a shit.
Go
Yeah,
clean
never
the
a
shit
working
stream out.
toilet. Listen, forget about the pandemic going on right now. I never want to be on a goddamn cruise because it's always a disaster. Someone's always sick with something. Toilets are always overflowing. Everyone's coughing, and there's always problems on a fucking cruise ship. My mother's like, "Oh, it would be nice if I went on a cruise." Well, what do you like?
Yeah,
about
you know
cruise?
what, Mom?
Well, they're always
It's interesting.
serving
They're doing a Titanic recreation cruise. We're going to put you on that one. It's going to take the exact same path as the original Titanic.
You know, it would be much easier for me if you'd get off this door.
There was room on the door, Jack. There was room on the door.
I'm just saying, Jack, I would really like to lay out and spread out a bit on this door. Could you just slip in the water for a minute?
Keith Campbell's right. Everyone does end up sick after cruises. You get cruise flu.
Of course
It's just-
they do.
and-
It's just like Mardi Gras flu. Mardi
And
Gras
that
flu is
cruise
when you
is-
go to Mardi Gras, 2 weeks after Mardi Gras, everybody is sick.
Yeah, I don't want to
And the
go on a
cruise
fucking
takes
cruise.
place over Valentine's Day, so Caleb's going to have to work that one.
Well, he'll bring
He's
his
taking-
wife.
He's
What are you
definitely
talking
taking
about?
his wife.
He's going to bring
What do
his
you think?
wife.
What do you think he's gonna go on the
think
love
she's gonna
boat
let
as
her
a
go by
single
herself?
guy?
No, it's like getting on the tour bus and going out to play.
No, it's not.
The
No, it's
band.
not. It's not.
No, man. No.
Don't
This
take
is
your
funny.
wife.
Yeah, honey, I'm going on a cruise.
By the way,
oh, great, we're going on a cruise.
It's
no,
work. It's
By the way,
work.
It's
By
me
the
and
way,
Hal.
Dane, this will be. I say this, and if Caleb is watching this, I
Okay.
say this with respect. Have you ever seen Caleb's wife? 5 days out to
Maybe
sea in a
that's
hotel
even
in a
better reason.
cabin.
You don't take sand to the beach, right? She's gonna meet all these rock stars.
Well, when you're married, you do.
She's in LA. She sees them anyway.
but she's gonna be stranded on a boat with them.
Stranded?
Yes, it's not like you can helicopter yourself out of there.
Not everybody is in
like
the
that
kind of
episode of I
shitbag
Love
relationship
Lucy
you
where
are.
they fly
I know,
her in.
man. My relationship is horrible right now.
Dane just wants to get out of there. Dane
I
wants to go on the
do.
ship alone. I can Cobra Kai platoon. Could you do us like an entry of Love Boat with all the heads in the life preservers?
Little
There's Captain
this-
Stubing and Gopher and Dane and Caleb
Yeah.
and Love, exciting and new. Dane Zimmerman will get a new girl for you. Never
You
shift.
go on the cruise with the band. It's work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not a
just more of that.
vacation.
Yeah,
Is it a
he's taking his
vacation
life.
or is it work?
It's both, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, you
It's
play. It depends on how many times they have you play, dude. I mean, there's
I'm sure
no
he's
way
gonna want to jam with the other bands a lot.
it's going to be great. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Absolutely. I'm very happy for him. He deserves it. He really
And you
does.
do it. It's a culmination of a lot of hard work, and more power to him to do it. Happy for him. Having done No Bozos jams, I think Johnny's done them as well. That's one of my favorite things in the world to do, is to get up on stage with a bunch of different musicians and just bang out a
Oh
song.
my God.
It's so good.
It'd be life-changing for me to freaking go jam with some dudes over there.
Yeah,
No, it's
especially
pretty cool.
especially without your girlfriend.
You should go.
Yes.
Yes.
But who's going to watch
Yes.
the store?
Yeah, that's going to be a great deal. I want to be a fly on the wall when that conversation comes out.
Who's gonna watch
Honey,
the store?
I'm going on a cruise. Are you playing it?
Paul
No.
could watch the store. I'll give him the key. Come in here and hang out. And
Yeah, Paul, you
With
don't have to
guitars?
sell anything. Just
I'd be
watch
good
it like
at it.
Dane does. Like Dane does.
I've
helps me
sold
sell
shit.
stuff.
I've sold shit for you.
He does. Paul's
Dane goes
great at
out
it.
for taco run, and Paul's like, "Yeah, you want to buy something?" You're
There's been-
selling stuff because the guy that's normally here doesn't ever want to sell stuff to me.
There's been a bunch of times where I've just been sitting in the store and he's like, "Hey, I got to go." Ironically, when his son used to work for UPS, "Hey, I got to go to the UPS store and ship something. Watch the store." I'm like, "All right." So somebody comes in and then somebody will ask me, they'll go, "Hey, what's the price on this guitar?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I mean, whatever's on the sticker. There's no sticker on it. I don't know. Do you work here? No, I don't. But is the guy who works here? No, he isn't."
A lot of
that's
times
good.
when Paul's hanging out in the store, he was in the other day, and for some reason and Paul said, "I don't really mind that you do it, but I'll get customers in here and I'll be like, hey guys," and Paul will be in the back talking or sitting over here or whatever. "Do you guys ever listen to KSLX? Because that's the morning show guy right there, man. #1 Phoenix morning show right over there, sitting over there. Do you guys listen to KSLX?" And they're like, no, never heard of it. Oh, well, never mind.
Wait,
I keep
isn't
following
that
the
the guy from Talking Guitars and 80s Metal Live? That's him, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sooner
No.
or later, that'll start happening.
I don't.
Much later,
I
probably.
see you guys on the Johnny Beane show. I didn't know
Yeah.
you lived in Phoenix.
I usually get that when I'm like approached in a dark alley by a gang. Yeah, we saw you on the Johnny Beane show talking about Vince.
Yeah, Vince is a buddy of mine.
Yeah,
you
man.
know? How dare you?
He's one of my best customers. Are you a drug
was a
dealer?
roadie.
No, I work at Burger King.
Yeah, Vince is my guy, man. I make him the double cheese cheddar sandwich.
With bacon.
Lots of bacon. You got
Lots
a
of
problem
bacon.
with that, man, Cuda? No, I just want him to sing. Just want him to sing. There's another guy they're contemplating other than John Corabi, just so you know. Hello. I could sing better than Vince, and I've been more talented, and I play guitar. Yes, sir. Let's just put one
Hey, you know, you should
right
get
in
a-
your groin. Oh,
You should get a little Vince doll. That's
why? I
overweight.
like Vince. I
And,
hate
and
David
as he gets
Crosby.
skinnier, you just pull a little bit of stuffing out of him every couple of episodes.
Watch, he'll be disemboweled. It'll make the news. Poor Vince. Yeah, no,
He
I'm
does,
so
man. He has to stand to a very high standard because
Yes.
nobody wants to see a fat Vince.
no, he has to
and-
stand up to the salad bar and partake of it more
And
often.
to sing those songs is next to impossible because every singer that I've ever had in every band throughout my life cannot even come close to sounding like Vince.
Well, thankfully,
Well, then you haven't been in bands with decent singers.
No, I try.
Yeah, right now
But I'm
Vince
not trying,
can't
but
sound
you
like
can't.
Vince.
I've
Vince
only
needs
had
to
one
sound
dude
like
that could
Vince.
pull off some Motley Crue.
The problem with singing Motley Crue is if you do it too long, you fuck your voice up. That's the reality of it. You can do it for a song or two, but if you do it for a set for 5-6 months, you fuck your voice up because he doesn't sing correctly.
We used to be able to pull off Too Young to Fall in Love. We could. There's a couple guys that could sort of pull that one off, you know. There's a couple, but most of them, man, there's no way.
I think Vince sings it now. 2 fillets, I'm in love is I think the way he sings it now. Let's see. So Vince, so I hope Vince that M Sculpt Neo shit works for Vince. I don't know.
It's basically cool sculpting. It's what they do is they freeze the fat in your belly and it disappears. It disintegrates. It crystallizes and disintegrates.
Well, that must be
he
nice.
could get liposuction.
Doesn't last forever. You stop doing it, and eventually the fat reforms. So,
well, that sucks.
What he should do is get the fucking lap band surgery and stay the fuck away from the buffet.
Yeah.
I think if the guy just works out and stops eating crap, I think he'll be fine. Like, for real. I don't think he needs to go through crazy stuff. I mean, he's got this giant fucking workout room in his house that clearly has never been touched. There's like 1,000 dumbbells there. Did you see all the fucking dumbbells? Like, seriously, just like every weight, 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds, 2 3/4 pounds, 3 pounds. Vince comes running. Quarter pounder? Did you say quarter pounder like with cheese? No, Vince. No.
Here's the deal. I made a dietary change a couple of years ago. I stopped drinking Pepsi with sugar in it. Now it's just no sugar, no calories. Made a couple of different dietary changes and dropped 65 pounds in 10 months.
It doesn't look bad in that photo.
It can be done. No, it can be done. All my shirts are looser on me. My clothes are looser on me. Mm-hmm. I move better. I lost the weight in the face and stuff like that. Don't have the turkey neck anymore. It's all you got to do is make a couple different dietary changes and move. Yeah. Get up and walk. Take a walk. Get on the bike. You don't have to work out in front of the machine for 3 hours a day. Eat right, move. And you know what he should be doing is eating right and singing every day. Singing, practicing that 2-hour set from Motley Crue, the breathing that's involved with that and the singing that it takes to hit those notes and to be in shape vocally is aerobic exercise. People don't realize that because it doesn't seem like you're riding a bike or you're doing a stair step or shit like that. But singing is an aerobic exercise. It elevates your heart rate. It elevates your blood pressure. It gets your circulation going. The way he's supposed to do it, he should be in that room in front of a mirror, whatever it is, singing to backing tracks for 2 hours a day, moving back and forth, and change his diet, and it will melt off him. It's so easy to do. It's all you got to do. I'm still drinking Pepsi. I'm just not drinking sugar. Eliminate the sugar. Eliminate the garbage that you put into your body, and eat and move, and you will lose weight.
Vince needs to lose the weight because of the way Motley Crue songs are sung. He's going to need that breathing. And he's going to move around the stage. And he's huffing and puffing like he's ready to die on stage, God forbid, right now.
This doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, drink water.
Drink water. Like I just drank a Pepsi. I just got the flavor of that, and that's great. Then you drink some water to fill up so that you don't have to drink. Now, again, there are no calories, but it does have aspartame, and there's still chemicals and shit in it. So, you know, my choices are diabetes or potential cancer. So if you do it right, you drink some water. Just drink some water. That will fill you up, and it's refreshing. And I can't believe a washed up guy whose career never made it anywhere near to Vince Neil can get my shit in shape and sing those songs, and he can't. And I'm not being paid shit.
You should audition.
I should audition.
Oh, I'd love.
But I don't have a Coke problem.
You have a Pepsi problem.
Maybe that's particularly what you need in the. Speaking of failure, so Steve Sapormas, False Flag, sent me a clip of Vinnie Vincent from 1978. I want you guys to write this one down, and after the show, click on it because it is fucking funny. Look up on YouTube Vinnie Vincent 1978 TV clip with Dan Hartman.
I can dream about you.
Yeah, this one's great.
Dan
one's
Hartman
great.
is another one of those guys that people don't know wrote a bazillion hit songs.
But it's funny
Super
watching,
talented guy.
Funny watching Vinny swing into the 70s in this video clip. I was dying. I you know, False Flag sent it to me, and I was like, wow, that's classic. And Vinny's just sitting there, kind of like the way, like, one of the animated, Saturday morning cartoon bands, like the Archies,
or like
Yeah.
the Brady Bunch. I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
on, keep on, keep on.
keep on moving on through the night. Yeah. Speaking of Cousin Oliver.
Yes, and now that's a good callback. Why are we go? At least we're not still on Vince Neil. We did Vince Neil. We did like 45 minutes on Vince Neil. Got away for 15 minutes. Then we were back on Vince Neil.
That was my fault.
We've spent more exercise on Vince Neil than Vince Neil has been exercising.
Look, if someone from Vince's camp is watching tonight, look, we love Vince. We really do. No shit. Vince is our guy. We just want him to pull his big boy pants up and a smaller size of them, please. Because, look, he's got a responsibility to the fans. If we can meet our responsibilities to the fans and not getting paid millions of dollars, you can do the same thing. At least learn the fucking lyrics to the song that we can all sing. Come on. You're on
he's got
thin
a
ice now.
responsibility to his bandmates.
He doesn't give a shit about his bandmates. That's what I've been trying to tell you. That
They're
none
the
of those
people
guys
that put him where he's at.
None of those guys give a shit about each other at all. None whatsoever. None. Zero. Don't care.
No,
they don't care. They don't care. They're lucky to be who they are. Right band, right time. They had so much character and so much personality at a time when those were the most important things. The songs are good. They're not great. They're good. They have a handful of great songs, but mostly good songs.
You know who they need to help Vince with the weight was that guy that was helping Fred Flintstone lose weight, Goink, 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 goink. Remember that guy? Fred joins a diet. If he loses a certain amount of weight, he wins some money. So they hire a guy that is like a trainer. So he follows Fred around, keeping him from eating. So like Fred's about to eat a cheeseburger. Suddenly an arrow flies through it with a fishing line attached to it. And he's like, what the fuck? Goink, 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 goink.
You know what? I kind of think Nikki Sixx was so driven and so focused on what he was trying to do back in the day. He might have, if Vince wasn't ever around, if he never would have met those other guys, he probably would have figured something out with another group and put another group together and still had some form of success.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. Vince is the Caleb Rappaport of his moment. I mean, Motley Crue doesn't happen without Nikki Sixx.
Right.
Nikki Sixx makes that happen. Nikki Sixx is the guy that, I mean, obviously he was in London and he went off and did his own thing.
Yeah.
No, he's absolutely the guy that is responsible for, and in 6 a.m. 6 a.m. was a mediocre shitbag band, but Nikki Sixx made it work. Brides of Destruction, Nikki Sixx made it work. He is a hardworking guy. There's no doubt about it. He knows how to write a song. But
there you go. There's your guy. Goink, goink, goink. You could do it on YouTube and just look up goink, 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 and you'll see that scene.
What's his name?
I don't even know, but he was from the Flintstones episode, and that's the guy that's going to take a burger out of Vince Neil's hands too.
Goink,
do
goink,
the same
goink.
thing. Goink, goink, goink.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a 1 minute video. It's a 1 minute video. Goink, goink, goink. G-O-I-N-K, G-O-I-N-K, G-O-I-N-K. There you go. Yeah. So, all right. Look, like I said, we're not trying to disparage Vince. The fact is, we just want to see him not get kicked off the tour, and it looks like he's about to. He's this fucking far away.
That tour's not happening.
It's real close to not happening.
It's
I mean,
not
that photo Johnny held up, it looks like he looks like he's slimmed down a little in that photo.
I think that's an old photo, to be honest.
Oh,
He's
I think
also
it's
like
an old photo.
5'6".
Yeah, so
He's not a big
yeah,
guy.
If he was 6 foot tall, he wouldn't look, as huge as he is.
Nicky and Tommy are the
He'd
tallest
thin out
guys in
if he
that
was
band.
taller.
yeah. Let's give 2 shout outs. First one, condolences to the family of John Hinch of Judas Priest. He was on their first album, Rockarola, and 73 years old. He was the drummer, passed away this last week. So condolences to his friends and family. But let's give a positive shout out to Nita Strauss, celebrating 6 years clean and sober this week. So huge shout out to Nita Strauss, guitarist for Alice Cooper. I've said this before. Johnny, what is wrong with your battery? Holy shit. There we go. There it is. That's it. Yeah, no, look, huge congrats. Huge congrats to Nita. Oh, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, here we go.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Huge congrats to Nita. Nita, basically 6 years clean and sober. Those that know me know I have a huge respect for anyone that takes the initiative to get clean or to get sober, or both, and sticks with it. One day at a time. And I've never had a drinking or a drug problem, but a lot of my friends have. I've lost a few friends from it. So really big shout out to Nita for that. There we go. Well.
Yeah. Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
And how long has she been in Alice Cooper's band? Oh, Nita will be out on the cruise.
You better go, man.
Oh.
Yeah, let me tell you something, Dane. We were talking about taking the shot earlier. Dane, you got to take that shot. You got to take that shot. Dane, you got to walk up to Nita Strauss and say, "Hey, listen, I know you got a boyfriend, but I kind of got a girlfriend too." And
she got a boyfriend.
We're all alone at sea.
Of course,
right
she
now.
has a boyfriend. She's
kidding?
fucking Strauss.
End up getting my butt kicked.
Everywhere
everywhere
she goes, he goes.
Guitar. And listen, if you were Nita's boyfriend, you'd also be going everywhere because every guy in the world is hitting on that girl. Yeah. So he's like right up her ass. He's just like, I'm Nita's boyfriend. All right, yeah, sure, no problem.
That's a problem.
Like an umbilical cord.
Well, I think he's her manager and stuff.
I think he's their manager too. Jokes aside, I think he's
that's a problem though. I mean, if you've got the domineering, over possessive guy, girl, that type of deal. If you don't have trust, you don't have anything. So
I don't know if he's over possessive or insecure.
Oh no, I don't think he is.
He's definitely right on her. I mean, Johnny and I watched her walking through NAMM, and he's like right there. It's like guys walking up to her, and he's like,
What are the other girl bands on the cruise? Oh, it's Heart.
Did I say Heart? I don't remember saying Heart. Was Heart on
Heart?
Heart on.
No.
Hard on.
I actually am surprised there are a couple of bands.
Heart,
oh,
right?
Wait a second. Hold on. I'm getting a phone alert. Silver alert, missing endangered elderly person in Los Angeles. So somewhere there's like some senile elderly person walking around clueless, and I just got that silver alert on my phone. I hope they find him or her.
That's like an Amber Alert, right?
Yeah, it's like an Amber Alert, but for an elderly lost. So.
Those things are scary.
For like people that have dementia and shit like that disappear.
When your phone goes off.
Crosby.
I remember the first time my phone went off with one of those, and it's like the loudest, weirdest sound you've ever heard.
I have my phone on
Laurel Canyon.
I have my phone on Do Not Disturb, and the thing still was blaring out. Did you hear that when it went off?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did I say Heart was on this bill?
No, Vixen.
Vixen.
Heat.
Right.
Heat, Dave.
Yeah,
Don't go for Heat. They're all guys.
Okay, shoot.
Dean walks in a dressing room. He's like, "Oh, heart," and he runs in with his pants down and his little guy. Oh,
Vixen
man.
is on.
Dane runs through Heat's door and says, "I'm
Vixen?
in Heat."
Vixen is on that tour, and their guitar player Brittany is every bit as good looking and every
Oh,
bit as
she's
talented.
beautiful.
Every
But
bit
I'm
as
afraid
talented
of
and
the
every bit as
drummer.
good looking.
I'm
Yep.
afraid of the drummer girl.
What, Roxy?
Oh, Roxy
Kick your
Roxy
ass.
Petrucci.
Roxy will
She's
kick your
great.
ass.
She's great.
She's great.
Nope.
She's tougher than I am.
Vixen are
Smart
great,
girl.
and their guitar player Brittany, I have known since she was like 19 years old, and is a super human being, a super great guitar player, and couldn't be better looking.
Okay, honestly,
Not
on
at
this
all.
cruise, how many single ladies are going to be out on that cruise?
All the
A lot.
single ladies. All the
A lot.
single ladies.
Yeah, a lot of the girls, a lot of those same girls that you see out at the Blues and at Club Red and all the places that are here in town are the girls that go on those cruises. It's all these 40 and 50-year-old girls that still chase
Follow
LA
those
Guns
bands
and still
sure.
chase Roxy Blue and still chase. Yeah, they're all middle-aged chicks trying
That
to
love
get
to
their
hook
groove,
up.
trying to get their groove back. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, they're all horny divorcees, Dane. You're in. I mean, go.
Craven
go in there.
Craven Brittany is not single as far as I know.
I would
come up
just-
with a fake band name. Hey, yeah, I've been in this band for. Oh no, we're big in Japan. Yeah,
Yeah. No. Say.
they'll be like, well, I've never heard of your band. I'm telling you, man, we're huge over in Japan.
Yeah. Say you're Godzilla.
Yeah,
Say your band's name
Can't
is
believe you've never
Godzilla.
heard
And
of
just
Godzilla. Where's
Google
it
just Google Godzilla Japan, and you'll see all will come up all the.
yeah.
Let's see.
You have your own T-shirts, man. You're wearing your shirt now.
Yeah.
Don't be that
I mean,
guy.
that's you on the shirt, isn't it?
I don't think this will help get me laid, honestly.
You say, Paulie, you say don't be that guy, but Metallica made a real point of Jason Newsted wearing Metallica shirts always on stage. Whatever shirt he wore on stage always sold the most at the merch station by like 40% more. Like a big deal.
Keep in mind, Jason wasn't the original guy in Metallica, so it's like he's a fan, wearing the band shirt. The band existed before him, so he kind of gets a pass.
But it's kind of cool. I mean, look, I know and the same reason that they wear a lot of their own tour shorts. They just want a clean shirt.
Yeah.
They're sweating. It's on the road. I haven't showered in 3 days. Give me a shirt out of the merch. And they take a shirt, cut off the collar, and boom, now you're on stage. But the fact is, it is cool for the audience to see a band member sporting a shirt because now that shirt becomes nostalgic to you as an audience member from that show. So now chances are you might want to buy that particular shirt.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy that particular shirt.
Not that one. Never a shirt.
Never a
You
shirt.
gave me one
Never
of
a
those
shirt.
shirts.
Never a shirt.
I wear that shirt. I wear my Zim shirt all the time, man.
I know 2 of the girls that won them on last year's Halloween costume contest wear those all the time.
I've
The
known
Zim
him
shirt.
longer than any of you guys, and I don't have one.
I don't have one either.
Jim, you know Jim,
Beane?
Paul. He's the guy that does my printing. He's like, man, I can't afford to print shirts that are XXX, XXX.
Jim is
Oh,
fucking
wow.
triple X.
Wow. So you won't see Vince Neil sporting one on stage. So
No, Vince won't have one.
So what you're saying is you don't make them in men's sizes.
Yeah.
wow.
You have to just tell Jim. I've been trying for like a year now to get new shirts made.
What size?
He'll
does
make
Jim?
he'll make whatever you want him to make if you fucking pay him.
Yeah, I have extra small, twink, and 1 medium.
Twink.
Yeah. Let's see. Speaking of interesting bands from the past, Skid Row, 2 sides to the Skid Row coin right now. You have Rachel Bolan going on record now saying how excited he is with the new album coming along great. They just did a bunch of vocal tracks. Really, really excited about it. Let's see.
Zeep.
They're-
Zeep
Yeah.
Thiert. Zeep
Yeah.
from
Dragon
Dragon Force
Force
and Tank and a
Is
couple
their
other
new
bands.
vocalist.
And he's been with them for a little while, and apparently they're really happy.
Yeah, they're extremely happy right now with the way the new album's coming out. He says, and I quote, "I just can't describe how awesome it all sounds." Now you can take that two ways. Either I can't describe it because it's not awesome, or it really is great. And look, I'll go on the side of, hey, maybe it's a good album. I'm gonna buy it anyway, you know. So I'm looking forward to that. But then you have the other side of the coin with Sebastian Bach, and Sebastian is basically giving us the story of. I keep getting messages saying, how about a Skid Row reunion? If Dokken can do it, if, all these other bands, Guns N' Roses, how come there's no Skid Row reunion? Sebastian says, hey, I would do it. I'm ready to do it. But these guys who I haven't been in the same room with since 1996 are saying, oh, he's too hard to work with. He says, well, you know what? Broadway says I'm not hard to work with. The Trailer Park Boys say I'm not hard to work with. Who else did he say? Gilmore Girls say I'm not hard to work with. My band says I'm not hard to work with. So maybe you guys are hard to work with because I'm ready to go, and get together for a reunion tour and a nice payday. But talk to Rachel. Talk to Snake. So, Bass is on board. It's the rest of the guys in Skid Row that are just not seemingly open to it, apparently.
Do you know anybody in your life, John, that you just fucking hate?
Sure.
There's your answer.
But we work with Johnny anyway, and it still comes together every week.
Yep, I know.
I'm just kidding.
Because we don't let him get a word in edgewise. That's why.
Never a complaint.
That's the problem. The problem is they think you are a colossal douchebag, and
which I am.
And there's nothing that Sebastian Bach can do to change that perception. I've had conversations with Dave Sabo about it, and he's actually the one guy in the band that is most open to it because Dave is laid back. He's
Rachel
cool.
isn't.
Rachel fucking hates him. Hates Sebastian. Hates. It's bad. Dave is like, man, I just want to play music. Dave works for
he does production. He does everything.
He works for Doc
McGee.
Yeah, he works for Doc's management company. So he's doing fine. Dave has got a job and his bills are paid. And he's cool with playing with anybody. That's out of his mouth to my ears. But I turned and looked at Rachel, and Rachel went, nope. and when I asked Dave, I go, why won't you guys do it? He goes, ask Rach. Looked at Rachel, he goes, nope. And I go, you want to talk about it? He goes, nope. He just doesn't care.
It's funny how Sebastian keeps talking about it and the fans keep talking about it, and
Yeah, but that's great. Dave is, I mean, he doesn't like it because he doesn't like the bullshit that comes with it, but he'd be willing to put up with it if Rachel said yes.
And the payday. It's all about the payday.
Again, it goes back to what we were saying before. Somebody writes them a big enough check, they'll still do it. They'll do it. Rachel just doesn't want to do it. And it's a him or me situation.
And that's the thing is Sebastian is smart enough to know it's all about a payday. He's ready to go. He doesn't give a shit. He's of the thought of, look, you don't have to talk to me. See on stage when that red light flashes and they start the announcement, ladies and gentlemen, Skid Row, I'll be on stage with you. And after we say, good night, thank you, we don't have to talk. That's it.
The problem
is fucking simple.
The problem is that Sebastian does stupid shit on stage that's embarrassing too. Because he's a big fucking kid.
Yeah, that's
he just is. By the way, I'm a huge fan. He and I are. I think he and I are 2 days, maybe a year and 2 days apart in age. I think Sebastian is one of the greatest singers of his era, and he doesn't get anywhere near the credit he deserves for being as good as he is. But he's 5 days older than me. and he looks 10 years older than me because he's lived a hard fucking life.
Oh, sure.
But he's a fantastic singer. He's way too good looking to have as metal a voice as he does. He has the total package, except he's a colossal asshole. And I know because he's 5 days older than me. Kindred spirits.
No, look, I love the guy for 1,000 reasons. I've always said he's one of the better frontmen of the 80s. Incredible voice, incredible stage presence.
Yep.
I mean, the
Insane.
guy's my height. He's 6'4". He's like fucking, he's got the coolest hair in rock. And he's just, got that party personality that you just love that represents our line of music. Let's see. Tube
And when you
Supio.
watch that episode of Trailer Park Boys that Sebastian Bach was in, that almost shows you kind of what the guy is like. Because he's just getting on that boat. He's partying like crazy. He's demanding. He's, forget about the cops or the rules or whatever. You guys know what episode I'm talking about?
Yeah, he was on several episodes.
I've seen it. I've
Yeah.
seen.
It's
I've
when
seen
he was
the show.
selling cigarettes illegally to this Trailer Park Boys. They were arranging a illegal cigarette importing business using the Swayze Express underneath a little river from Canada into New York.
Yeah.
I've seen it. The Swayze Express.
It's great.
Savage Animal.
They were.
Oh,
I mean,
he's
Sebastian
terrific.
Bach is a super talented guy. Unfortunately, with guys like him and Johnny Lydon and David Lee Roth, there's a certain, and Phil Anselmo, there's a certain level of mercurial talent there that becomes annoying. You can only take it for so long, and then you're tired of it. And people like, who have the temperament of Sebastian Bach and people like who have the temperament of Rachel Bolan, they just don't mix. And it was great when they were coming up. And remember, Sebastian wasn't, they were not great until they were put together. And Rachel wants them to be more punky than he does want them to be more glammy.
Because that's his influence. That's what he
glammy,
brings.
But glammy pays the bills.
Yeah. And they're talking in the chat that apparently Sebastian could tie his dick in a knot. There you go.
Good for him.
Yeah. That always helps stage presence. If you could do that, it looks better in pants when you have it in a knot. And thank you, Tube Supio. I appreciate
These dogs are unbelievable. They can tell time.
Is that Janice Lala?
Yeah. Sebastian is starting to look. He is starting to look like an old woman.
There you go. Well, a middle-aged woman.
That's not middle-aged.
The hair is.
Well, I'm saying Janice is middle-aged.
The hair's gone from white to gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the teeth. I mean, he's starting to look like an old woman. And it's funny. He's 5 days older than me. 5.
Well, if he looked like Mary, I'd want to fuck him. So there you go.
That's insane. It's insane how much the difference. There you go. Now we're
The
talking.
similarity is uncanny, Paulie. Looks just like Neanderthal.
Mm-hmm. If I did my eyebrows the right way, I could go as McHale for Christmas.
Yeah, look, Sebastian's still 10
As
times
Christmas.
better looking than all of us. So.
Halloween, excuse me. Christmas. I don't know what the fuck that came from.
Christmas, what the hell? Yeah, Sebastian's still 10 times better looking than all of us. And, I cannot tie my dick in a knot. I could tie my pube in a knot. That's about it, which is about
Gross.
the size of my dick. So similar. Anyway, so I would love to see that. The fans would love to see that. I don't know what it would take. If I was someone else, I would try to kick Rachel out of the band and say, just for now, man, just for now. If you don't want the payday, the rest of us do. Come on.
Well, it's funny because Hammersmith would take the money in a heartbeat. Rob Hammersmith's been there for a long time. He's the second drummer. Rob Affuso would do it. I mean, he's jammed with.
He would jump back in.
He's jammed with Sebastian a couple times already. When Sebastian went out and did that anniversary show for the debut album, but Hammersmith would do it. I know Sabo would do it. Rachel, it's a Rachel Sebastian thing.
I mean, let's put it this way. Steven Adler got asked to play drums on a couple of Guns N' Roses shows, and he was thrilled, because they didn't invite him into the reunion. They didn't feel he was worth the payday. And
well, he's unreliable.
Yeah, well, that's a given. But I mean, I could see Rob Affuso jumping on that
Sure.
I mean, they would absolutely get the band back together. It's all hanging on Rachel, and it's sad because you would think Sebastian would be the holdout. You would think he would be the problem cog in the machine.
But
It's
he
Rachel.
needs it more than anything in the world. I mean, they need each other. Let's face it. Skid Row without Sebastian Bach is just another band. They could be good. They could be good, but they're not playing hockey arenas. It's the same thing with Rat. Skid Row are an East Coast Rat. They have some great songs, but it's got to be those 5 guys.
Yeah, or
In
at
Rat's
least,
case, 4, obviously.
or even the drummer. It doesn't have to be Rob Affuso. Nothing against
Right.
Rob.
No,
But,
I know.
But it does have to be Sebastian. It does have to be
Sebastian, Dave, and Rachel
Scotty.
have to be in it.
And
Scotty is
Scotty.
funny because Scotty hasn't said 2 words in 40 years.
Because he doesn't care. He just goes with the flow.
Yeah,
He's the smartest guy in the band.
Yep, he's the Michael Anthony of Skid Row. Just keeps his mouth shut, does his thing, collects a check.
That's it. Great idea.
I feel the same way about Queensryche. It's got to be Jeff Tate.
Well, I don't know about that.
I got to disagree with you because
I don't know
think,
why guys are fighting me on that one. Every other band you need
because
to have that singer.
because Tate can't hit the notes anymore.
Well, he's gotten better recently. I remember, I forgot what song it was, but he did a song recently that I pointed out to the audience, and I recommended it. It sounded like Jeff during the Empire days. It was really good.
Todd LaTorre does the Jeff Tate Queensryche songs in the same way that Tim Owens did the Rob Halford songs. If you closed your eyes, you'd have a hard time knowing that it wasn't him.
Right. And Todd
He's
has a
that
nice
good.
stage presence. Todd has a good stage presence.
And he's a super nice guy, whereas Jeff Tate is really fucking weird. He's a weird guy.
But I don't really care about that. Weird wrote Mindcrime, and I'm happy with that.
Chris DeGarmo wrote
and I was
Mindcrime,
about to say,
and that's what they need.
I was about to say what I'd like to see is Chris DeGarmo come back.
Right. Chris DeGarmo.
Because they just
makes that
lost Parker Lundgren. Parker went off to do his own thing. Parker's
and the whole
involved in,
Scott
Diablo
Rockenfield thing is
guitars.
so weird. The whole idea that Scott's not in the band, he is in the band, he's not officially out of the band, he hasn't toured with the band, he
health
hasn't
issues, and
I know, but it's just so weird. That's that whole who plays drums for Queensryche? I don't know.
But you got to roll with that. I mean, health issues you got to roll with.
Oh, sure, I get that.
Chris DeGarmo, he's flying planes. That's what he wanted to do. I made up enough money to do what I want to do, fly fucking airlines. That's what I want to do. I want to be a commercial pilot. That's what I want to do. I want to fly private jets. That's what I want to do. And that's what he does. Mission accomplished. Look at this shit.
Michael Anthony in that Sick Boy t-shirt. How many times have you seen him in that Sick Boy t-shirt? I've seen it a lot.
Just that picture.
I was about to say we've seen that
shirt.
picture a lot. We've seen that picture a lot.
Michael Anthony has a better hair guy than Johnny Beane.
Well, all I could say is that sometimes you have bands split up and into 2 bands. Don Dawkins' band was good with John Norum, and Lynch Mob obviously was good with Oni Logan. So, sometimes it works out. It's the same thing with Queensryche. Queensryche has Todd LaTorre now, and Jeff Tate has his own band doing Operation Mindcrime. And, look, you want to see Jeff Tate? He'll do all the Queensryche songs too.
He'll do the ones he can do legally.
Yeah, well, I think he can do everything except Mindcrime in its entirety, or was it the opposite? I forgot the agreement they did.
He has the rights to Mindcrime in its entirety.
Okay.
But
the other guys have
Queensryche. But here's the thing: Queensryche can play the hits. They just can't play it in succession. It's the strangest thing. So if Queensryche wants to play the songs, they can play, Revolution Calling, and then in the middle put I Am I or Bridge or whatever the fucking song they want to put in there, and then after that play The Lady Wore Black or I mean not Lady Eyes of a Stranger. And then The Lady Wore Black, and then they can cherry pick the hits and leave other stuff out. It's so strange that they can do that.
Operation Mindcrime is kind of meant to be seen as the rock opera, that it is basically.
The metal wall.
Yeah, I mean, but the concept album, start to finish, that's the way you really should see it. Up, Johnny went to tuck in chickens or something.
He's out.
That's really the way you should see Operation Mindcrime. So it does have a value that you can see that start to finish in a row. I like that. But both bands will play all the hits. You go see Jeff Tate, you are seeing all of Queensryche's hits. You go see Operation Mindcrime. I'm sorry. You see Operation Mindcrime, Jeff Tate will sing all the hits. You see Queensryche, they will sing all the hits. You'll get that show. It just, which do you want? Do you want Michael Wilton's good playing? Then you go see Queensryche. Do you want Jeff Tate as the original vocalist? Then you go see Operation Mindcrime.
All right. I'm getting the hook from the dogs. They know what time it is.
They do know what time it is. That is funny.
It's amazing that around 7:30 they decide it's time.
Well, that means it is indeed time for Show and Tell Guitar.
Wait a minute. Lemmy's coming over to say hi. Hi, Lemmy. Come on over, say hi. Come here, baby girl.
Hey, Lemmy.
Nobody's seen you in a while. Come here. Come on over. Come on over, baby
Lemmy's
girl.
on camera.
Here she is.
Look at that pretty girl.
I was telling you guys about my little dog, and I took her to the vet last week, and they scheduled a dentist appointment basically for her to have some teeth pulled out, and that's supposed to be tomorrow. Well, they called me today and said their x-ray machine is down, so they rescheduled it for Friday.
All right. Well, look, as long as you get that dog back in shape, because that thing is a mess. It's like Foghorn Leghorn coming up to it. This is a dog?
Hey, dog. I say dog.
This is a dog?
Nice boy, but he's about as sharp as a sack of wet mud.
And yes.
Dog. I say dog. Let's go outside. I got to go. Let me ask the shit. The tail is up. I don't know if you can see the tail, but the tail is up.
Later, Paul.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Neanderthal.
See ya. Look at this. See, looks like she's going to shit. The tail. The tail. There it goes. All right, I got to go.
Get a paper cup.
That's a good milkshake.
Just get a paper cup and follow your dog around.
There you go.
There's a cat on my street, and they keep this cat in a diaper.
Well, that's kind of a kinky thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Keep this cat in a diaper.
They do, man. They keep diapers on this cat. I'll try to take a photo the next time.
The cat's only 3 years old. They're just into that sort of thing. Nice. Well, look, it is time for Show and Tell Guitar. Let's review some of the awesome sponsors that bring Show and Tell Guitar to us, like Johnny. A little spotlight, please. Like Vinum Custom Pickups. Vinum Custom Pickups, the boutique pickup that will improve your tone, bring your guitar back to life. Vinum Custom Pickups, maker of the Mancuda Custom. Phenomenal Vinum Custom Pickups, hand wound by Craig Vinum. You can get the tone you want. You want something like a DiMarzio but less money? Craig can make it for you. You want to bring your Les Paul back to that 50s sound? Craig will make it for you. Check out Vinum Custom Pickups online. One of the greatest pickup makers in the world. Good God, they're great. Anyone I've sent them to, tell them John Mancuda from Talking Guitar and 80s Metal Live sent them to you, and Craig will take good care of you because he is taking care of so many of our audience members with just custom requests, whether they want certain color pickups or certain tones or just hand wound custom, certain things or something mimicked. You want a Duncan JB, but you want it like sounding a little tweaked like this. This guy is a master. Craig Vinum knows how to make a mean ass pickup. Check out Vinum Custom Pickups. And then if you want a kill switch, Johnny, where do you go? What do you get?
Well, John, you get Tessie switch.
A Tessie switch. Damn right. The professionals use Tessie switch. Why shouldn't you? You can beat the crap out of this thing and it still works like new. Tessie switch, reliable kill switches, best in the business, hands down. If you like kill switches, that's what you want. You want a Tessie switch. No question there. And while we're hot rodding a guitar, let's take it all the fucking way. Let's get an FU-tone fu-tone.com. Let's get some noiseless springs. Let's get a brass big block. Let's get some titanium nuts. Let's get titanium nuts. That's what Wolverine has, adamantium nuts. Let's hot rod our guitar fully, and no one does it better than FU Tone, fu-tone.com. When you want to really hot rod your guitar, they have everything. They have all the high-tech parts to make your guitar better. They have bridges. They have bridge parts. You want to soup up your bridges. You want a titanium block, everything. And their noiseless springs are to die for. fu-tone.com. And of course, while you're playing, you will want to use these lovely and extremely durable and great gripping Swiss picks. Swiss picks, the greatest gripping guitar pick ever. Raised holes to really get your grip on. Look at those things. They are badass. You will not lose these. Let me tell you something. I could fit my dick through one of these holes. These are great. And look at this, the Jason Becker Blue Cheese edition. You want to help Jason, friend of the show. That is his sponsored pick. Swiss picks. Check them out. Once you try one, I'll tell you, man, I give them out, and people that try them love them. I always carry a couple. So if you see me on the street, say, hey, man, Kuda, can I check out one of those Swiss picks? Shit, yeah.
I'd like some more, please.
And speaking of more, Johnny, do you know that if you mention Johnny Beane or Jay Hannon while ordering delicious Colonel's Gourmet Popping Corn and more, you will get more product? Delicious Colonel's Popping Corn, the best gourmet popping corn on the planet. Delicious Colonel's Gourmet Popping Corn and more. Chocolate, candy, tart candy, amazingly good candy, sugar-free candy, and of course the best gourmet popcorn. I'm addicted to their movie theater popcorn. Mama Mancuda loves their cheese popcorn. Shout out to Mama Mancuda. I really do. Get me some more. I love that Colonel's. There you go. Yeah, Colonel's Gourmet Popping Corn and more. Mention Johnny Beane or Jay Hannon, and they will give you bigger bags of what you order, which is what you want because the stuff's delicious. It's addictive.
Yeah, but Vince Neil shouldn't be ordering any.
No, Vince, you're not allowed. Colonel's, if you're listening, Vince's account is temporarily shut off at Colonel's Gourmet Popping Corn.
Nobody order anything for him.
Yeah, don't treat stream Vince any Colonel's, please.
The popcorn would probably be healthier than like that double cheeseburger with bacon.
Listen, right now the only thing Vince needs to eat is oxygen, and the only thing he needs to drink is a drop of water. He needs the Mancuda diet plan. You duct tape your mouth for dinner and run around the block for breakfast. So
I think that whole thing was a fake. Him working out.
Yeah, I think it's a.
You saw that, right? It looked like he didn't know what he was doing. It looks staged.
Clearly, he doesn't know what he's doing because the guy's fatter than ever. I don't know what to do with him. But I hope. Look, like I said, we love Vince and we hope he shapes his shit up. Just learn the fucking songs. Just learn the songs. Start with that. Okay. So today's show and tell guitar. Please leave a thumbs up on the video, by the way, if you haven't smashed the like button already. I said was a celebrity guitar. And the celebrity was Mitch Perry. And there's a great story behind this. And Mitch told me this directly. Mitch was called in by his agent to do an ad for BC Rich. Said they had a new type of guitar coming out. And Mitch would get paid a certain amount of money to fly out to California and do this live action magazine shoot where he's basically in bed with a virgin with a cherry in his mouth and he's holding a guitar. So it looks like he just plucked a virgin, but he's got a cherry in his mouth and he's looking at the camera. So basically he looked at that ad layout and he says, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So they wound up doing this magazine ad. Johnny, spotlight me for a sec. Does that look familiar to anyone? 1992, the BC Rich Virgin was introduced, and they used a skeleton in the bed with the girl with a cherry in its mouth. You can see that. So basically, it was supposed to be a live action photo of Mitch Perry. They used an animated skeleton instead with a cherry in its mouth, because even Mitch said that's even too tacky for me. And we're in the 80s. So, or actually now 92. But he did say, hey, part of my contract, if I come out here to do this commercial, is I get to pick one of those virgins. So they basically took him in the factory, and they said, okay, here's what we have made, pick one. So he said, well, I didn't do the ad. Oh my God. I didn't do the that was the virgin. It hurts. It hurts. I hear you lose your virginity. I still haven't lost mine, so I'm waiting. Anyway, so he got this guitar, and without further ado, Johnny, if you please, a very unique, one of a kind, and very early. Look at that thing. Very early BC Rich Virgin, one of a kind. Look at that thing. Hold on. Maybe get rid of this little subscribe thing, Johnny. Help me out here.
Oh, make sure to subscribe, though, everybody.
Sure.
Just don't forget.
Don't forget. There we go. Now we can take a still.
Please don't forget to subscribe to this. You don't want to miss this. Got it.
Cool. Yeah, my mom's watching the show. She's like, I kind of want to miss it. Now, again, the Virgin gets a bad rap because here's the deal. This was a guitar designed by Neil Moser, who gave us the Bitch, which became an offshoot of the Warlock, and things like that. Now, this isn't an import. A lot of Virgins are cheap imports and whatnot. This is an early USA-made one from the factory on the East Coast when Class X took it over. This one was made with the idea that the early ones were made a little bit better than the later production ones, and certainly better than the imports. Mitch loved this guitar, and he said, I chose it because I didn't see any others that were pinstriped and outlined like this, and the colors were the black with the neon green, the colors of what's the band? Overkill. So he liked Overkill, and he thought that looked really neat to see that kind of body with neon green pinstripes. And look at the little pick guard on that. That was also really unique. That wasn't standard on the later ones. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
That little shaped pick guard was on the early prototypes here. So they tried it out on this, and I haven't seen another one with that like it. And they did the trim on the back, which I think looks real badass in neon green. Very, very, very cool. Yeah, Can't Drive 55 says, don't drop the Virgin. Yeah, so this one's an early bolt-on, and it's early again because they didn't make that many USA ones initially. You know, they made some USAs, and then they went over to the imports made in Nagoya, Japan. This is an early USA-made one. And like I was saying, the initial design was designed by Neil Moser, and Neil originally had it called the Scythe, which was a variation of this. And then when Class X bought BC Rich around 91, and this design came over to him, Randy Waltuck, rest in peace, came up with the name Virgin. And he changed it a little bit, just a little bit down here. And this is basically a Neil Moser design. Same person designed the Bitch. Very well-known BC Rich. But this is really cool. This one has a licensed Floyd Rose, which I think is let's see. This one's probably I want to say it's a Takuchi, but I could be wrong. But it's a licensed Floyd Rose either way. Two DiMarzio Super Distortions in there, which is really cool. Volume, tone, selector, and I love this really neat little pick guard. I really do love it. There you go. You get a little bit better view of it because you just don't see that anymore. Very thick slab of rosewood on the board. Look how thick that rosewood is. Brazilian rosewood. Can you imagine like how much guitars would love to have thick slabs of Brazilian rosewood? That's like a 1/4 inch of rosewood there. Brazilian rosewood back then, before the rainforest started disintegrating. And look at the pinstripe work on that. Isn't that cool? Neon green against black. That is the Overkill colors. Shout out to the boys in
Yeah.
Overkill.
Yeah, it looks great.
Very, very, very cool. And what's neat is they also match the pinstripe to the headstock. Another really unique thing with that cool BC Rich script logo.
Mm-hmm.
But look at that, matching headstock as well. So Mitch sent that. Eventually traded that to the guitar player in Dry Cell. And so you had 2 actual artists that use this guitar. There you go. Look at that. Very, 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 very cool. Let's see. Just looking through the chat. Let's see. Questions about this guitar. Really, really rare. Rare that it's USA. Rare that it's this kind of finish, that almost like a graphic on the edges, this kind of trim pinstripe. Rare that has a matching headstock. I mean, really, really unique. Early version. Let's see. Looking in the chat.
Comments on the guitar in the chat.
Yeah, Thrash Metal says Play Mary Had a Little Lamb on it. Thank you, Thrash. The green is heavier than the nice green glow from the burning on the heaviest of known toxic metal, thallium. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a Rick and Morty green, you know, kind of like the Portal green. I mean, really, really cool. Let's see. Mike D says, is it a maple body? It could be. My bet is it possibly is, because it does have some weight to it, possibly more than like alderwood, you know. So I'm thinking it could very well be maple. It could also be heavy alder. I'm not sure. The neck obviously is maple. Look at that beautiful dirty maple neck on the back. I just love that. Really, really great. Let's see. Back to the chat. Thank you, KXM Rock. Nobody has a guitar collection, Mancuda. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, for the nice words I'm reading in the chat. Dan in New Jersey, that's the nicest BC I've ever seen. Thank you. Wait, Jesus Rapes Me wants a weight. This is probably, I'm gonna say somewhere in the 7-8 pound, maybe 8 pound range. Maybe 8 pounds on this one. It's got a little heft to it for Virgin. I have other Virgins. I have later custom shop Virgins. I have an import Japan version from the early 90s too. I never had a USA bolt on, and I can feel the difference, because that neck feels a lot like an ST3, which is a really good neck. And that's what's really important when you're playing guitar. You know, you want to feel a nice comfy neck, and it's real nice. I'm okay with the weight. Hellstorm says, how many years have you owned that guitar? Not long. Not that long. Papa Blue, give us a bouncy C. A bouncy C. Remember that? Billy Crystal on SNL?
Yeah.
Let's see. Very ghoulish color combo. Yeah, very Halloween, right? What kind of tuners? I think they're Grovers. Let's see. They are Grovers, yes. The Grovers, which again they used on the Gunslingers. I think basically what happened is when BC Rich sold to Class Axe, they had a certain amount of parts like ready to go. And I think the same teams were still making those for these things, because this neck feels really like an older ST3 neck. And it's obviously original to the guitar. But the body is like 91, 92, just when the Virgin just had come out before they advertised. So this is basically one of the first Virgins made, period, which is really cool. And again, they were, trying to figure out their groove of like, what designs and whatever, but I've never seen another one like this. And Mitch said that at the factory, he didn't see any others with this type of, I want to call it pinstriping, but it's obviously not really pinstriping. I mean, I guess it is a bit on the front, but it's more like trim, I guess, paint trim to outline the body in a couple of ways. And yeah, the Japanese versions are lighter. Hellstorm brings that up because I have a yellow one I've had on the show before, and it is lighter because that one is definitely made of alder. I think this one might be maple. Let's see. The Great Gazoo loves it. It's Gazoo Green Dum Dum. There's your thumbnail, Dum Dum. Yeah, Gazoo just kind of chilling on it. There you go. There you go. The Great Gazoo. Gazoo loves this body, Dum Dum.
How could we use that? Because that's a good.
That is kind of a fun thumbnail. Let me see if I can squeeze this in somehow. Let's see. Can I? Wait. Like right there, John?
So there's glare. We can use that though for something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
That's
fun.
Shirt and that guitar definitely go together.
The Great Gazoo guitar. There we go. Let's see. Totally right up my street, man. Coot, I'll tell you that much. Thank you, Blacktooth Fox. Recessed Floyd. No, it is not recessed. Check that out. I believe the later ones were, or at least the import ones, I believe were. This one is not. Like I said, it's real early, so it kind of does break the rules. There you go. Yeah, Han 36 solo, Martin Short. Thank you. Did that bit. And Blacktooth Fox says, you don't see a huge amount of virgins, full stop. Kind of like the Virgo and the Wave, one of the more obscure models. The Virgo was kind of like basically the Virgin that they wanted to sell more of, so they kind of cut the bottom part out, and it didn't do very well. I'm not really a Virgo fan, but I love the Virgin. This is like my fifth Virgin. I really, really like the. Excuse me. I really, really like the. Thank you, Bang Energy Drink. I really like the Virgins. Oh, that's the Chili Festival. Yeah, I thought I'd shit my pants this week with the Chili Festival. So there you go. So there is today's guitar. I want to say 92, but it might be 91 actually, because it is one of the first ones. BC Rich Virgin, Mitch Perry's, for not doing the ad that you see in the magazine. I thought that was a very cool story. We almost saw Mitch Perry in a bed with a cherry in his mouth rather than the skeleton, but this was part of his pay. One of the first Virgins coming off right to Mitch before the ads came out, so really early. Keith Campbell asks, what serial number? Here's the thing about the bolt-on serial numbers with BC Rich. You can't tell. They didn't do them in order. What they did, they basically did the stampings. And this is a B serial number stamping, B8337. They did stampings of plates to B and numbers and then BC and numbers. And they basically stamped them all at once, threw them in a big bin. And then when you built one, you just took them out. So this is the old serial numbering before Class Acts. Because Class Acts started doing numbering on the neck in 92. So this is still the original American BC Rich serial numbering because they're the original plates. Still, when Bernie owned the company, they had these plates made. So there you go. There you go. So it has to be 91. It really does. But there you go. That's today's show and tell guitar, boys and girls. Dig that thing. Oh, dum dum. There you go. Blue Rhino, what do you think? It's the greatest guitar ever I've seen today. There you go. Perfect. He always knows what to say. Let's see. One day I'll be able to play a cool BC Rich guitar. Unfortunately, Mancuda owns 95% of them, and when it comes up for auction, Mancuda outbids me. Sorry, Jesus rapes me. You're welcome to come over and check them out, though. Keith Campbell, how many virgins are you going for? I'm looking for particularly a vintage virgin from the early 90s that's like purple sparkle. Because I remember there was...
Yeah, he's talking about the
guitars. Yeah, the guitars. No, there was one I missed in New York, and it was like a silver and purple sparkle, and I've been hunting for it ever since. So if anyone owns that guitar, please message me on Facebook at Jonathan Mancuda. Hit the like button if you dig that guitar, please. Let's see. We got a few minutes left. Let's see. Not really much else in the news. Guns N' Roses Encore got cut off at Bottle Rock in Napa Valley, so they joined the legacy of artists that had their show cut off before it was done at Bottle Rock in Napa Valley. Apparently, there's a 10 p.m. curfew that Bottle Rock is real militant on, and Guns N' Roses were like in their last song. They're playing Paradise City. So imagine you go see Guns N' Roses at a stadium, and they're starting Paradise City, and all of a sudden, all the stage lights and power goes off because it's basically the mayor enforcing that 10 o'clock curfew. You can't wait till 10:05. Let them finish their set, and that's happened to a lot of bands out there in Bottle Rock. So pretty ridiculous that Guns N' Roses is now joining that legacy of bands. And let's see, Slash's new album, Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators, being worked on and supposedly coming along really well for 2022. Something Slash is really proud of. So Slash doesn't really brag about his albums much. So when he talks about it in the media, I think he's probably got something special on his hands. The guy's a pretty modest guy. And I think that's something to look forward to. So very, very cool. And that's our music news, boys and girls.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't know that Bottle Rock thing just happened.
Yeah, it sucks. It's like, you know, Guns N' Roses, you pay a lot of money to see them. You know they're doing their final song, you know, or maybe their encore or whatever. And it's like it's the one song you've been waiting all night for. And of course, there's some dildo anal, you know, freaking jerk off of the sheriff's department going up there and going, nope, the mayor called and said 10 exactly. It's 9:59 and 58 seconds. Take me down to the back.
Don Knotts.
Yeah, Don Knotts and he's reached sheriff finally.
Yep,
Barney Fife
over a cable in the back or something.
Barney Fife with his one bullet. He's finally made sheriff. Oh, we gotta enforce that 10 p.m. curfew. People are trying to sleep and they got work tomorrow. But they're on their last song. Is it 9:59 and 59 seconds? And you hit that power. That's great. Yeah, Mike Rogers, Slash is on the road with Guns N' Roses, but he still recorded the material, so it's all being mixed and put together while he is on the road now. So hey, he was very productive during the pandemic. Good for him. So there you go, Mr. Flip It. Flip it. Flip the switch. I'ma flip it. Can you imagine Axl Rose as he's singing, his mic cuts out? Who the fuck? Nip it in the bud. Guns N' Roses, nip that rose in the bud. Oh, awesome. Hit the like button if you haven't yet. I appreciate that. And of course, leave comments on the video because we like to reply to comments. And look, we love and appreciate our audience. We want you all to be safe. get vaccinated. Stop making it a political thing. Just fucking get the vaccine so we can get back to live music safely. And again, huge congratulations out to Caleb Rappaport of Nerd Halen. Well deserved, my friend. Well deserved. Monsters Rock Cruise. Get your tickets for 2022. The link is right there at the bottom of that card. monstersofrockcruise.com. And go see Nerd Halen. Yeah.
Yes.
Alice Cooper and Nerd Halen. Hell.
And
Yeah,
somebody
baby.
send Zims a ticket for this too.
Yeah, if you could get Dane a cruise ticket, we could get him away from his girlfriend. get him a new girlfriend. He'll meet on the Love Boat. Gotta do that. Treat Stream the man a pizza and get him a ticket to that cruise.
Yes.
Anyway,
that's all I want for Christmas is for Dane to get a pizza delivered to his shop over live and for him to go to that cruise.
Maybe he'll fall in love with the pizza delivery girl. That'd be kind of funny. Yeah, maybe Otis. Mike niece says maybe Otis was trying to sleep, so they shut the concert down. Cat Drive 55 says Aunt B was complaining. Andy, there's a ruckus going on at the stadium. Don't worry, Aunt B. I'll send Barney on it. Barney, can you shut down that concert? Andy, they're almost done. Oh, well, let them finish. Nope, the law's the law, Andy. 10 p.m. curfew. Well, Barney, you don't have to make a thing of it if they're almost done. I don't know, Andy. I'll check it out and let you know. There you go.
That's actually how the law is up in Napa.
That's what I heard.
Actually how it is.
For fuck's sake, who's living in Napa? It's just people with vineyards. You have like acres and acres of grapes. The houses are a million miles apart. No one's up there. Who are you disturbing? Who the fuck you disturb? What are you gonna wake the grapes up? The California raisins are trying to sleep?
They're doing their own concert.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Raisins.
Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, let's give thanks to our channel members, our beloved channel members who we value majorly. We really do appreciate you. Like executive producer Charles Green, my buddy Fruitcake Tony, Michael the Captain Smith, David Ennis, Mike Neese, Richard Poole, Linny Lou, and my little geriatric sex kitten Mary. Wheel her over here. Rawr. Gargets Entertainment, Kurt 5150, Susan Silvestri, Mickey Settlemeyer, Joe Christian, Nicole Mrazek, Sean Bolland, Wayno, Stephen Franklin, Will Starr, R. Habs, KXM Rock, David Shea Gormley, Bo Zeke, and Mrs. Gormley, by the way. Bo Zeke, Crazy Cook 678, Carol Hatcher, False Flag, Margaret Scranton, Sean Silas, Trevor Burson, Jarhead Rock, and let's see, and Hal Face, John Moronic, James Gum, Hillary Lewis, Jim Nicholas, 802 Blues, Mr. BHB Jr., I believe that's Bruce, Frag 5150, Pal Guitars, Dan Halen, Frank Corcoran, Ben Tom, and Tom Jr., Jeff T, R2R3 Locking Nut, Fernando Riley, Robot Master Switch, 6Chick71, Rick Green, The Chad, Two Brain Cells, G-Man, Michael B, Thomas Santiago, Voodoo Child SJ, that's Sean Johnson. Hopefully you are okay in Louisiana. Louisiana strong, baby. Brian Spalding, Fender Guru, Music Therapy Laz, Ghost BC Rich, 5150 TV, Jimmy Ray Hawkins, Hugh Caldwell, David Crosby is a dildo fucker. I'm not. You sure are. Jesus Rapes Me, Andy Price, James 5150, Christopher Live Sawa, Laguna Palms, Murphy, Steve Barton, All Dave, All Night, Tuba, Simon Hosford, Majestic PB&J Cat, James G, and Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael.
And again, if you are watching, thank you. We love you. We appreciate our audience. Please be nice, be safe. Janice is still with us. God bless you, Janice. I love you. And love
Janice.
and love to all. Janice stayed up late tonight. All right. Well done, Janice. And again, thank you, Mike Neese, for the Playboy. Really appreciate it. Wanted to read that Kiss article. I just got to unstick the pages to get to it. And again, thank you to executive producer Charles Green. I am looking forward to my big bundle of delicious Colonel's popcorn coming any day now.
Oh man.
Yeah, baby, my mouth is watering and my balls are tingling. I am excited. Thank you, everybody. We love you. Thumbs up on the video, please. Rock on. Stay safe out there.
Love you all. See you guys next time.
Nighty.